Icebox, Fracture, and Bind, literally the exact same as their last game.
And the exact same ban format in the exact same order. Okay, I don't agree with this. I'm going to flat out say I don't agree with banning in this fashion after they got thrashed recently.
I think the first bans is kind of like Team Liquid have always pretty much banned Breeze, like Mecha are always going to ban Haven, so it's the first two maps that sort of lend itself into it. Bind could be an interesting one, considering that's what we saw Mech pick it up against Ascend on Friday. Icebox, I think Liquid have looked absolutely superb on it.
Yeah.
We've been mentioning Chambers, right? Right now, it's Yampy that moves over to that role. Navera typically runs it, but Yampy on Icebox has some of the most insane stats on Chamber. And you sat there thinking, why do we not see him on that more? Like the aggression, the smartness. It's suited him more than Omen has, I think, these playoffs where he's sort of been caught out a lot, and it's just lean into that a bit more.
And we got a bit more time, so we get to discuss things because our agent select is delayed by a tiny bit. So, Jess, any more details that we can figure out on these teams and focus on Icebox?
Look, for people who are watching me have a little bit of a giggle about this, what we mean by this is like, what date was this? I've got listed here that they played this in week 5. They have played these exact. It was literally the other week. We're talking about the fact that the map bans went the exact same way. But this is what I don't understand, because you can have a look at the scoreline. M3 champions on map number 1, they barely scrounged together 8 rounds, lost the map. You get to map number 2 of Fracture, they barely scrounged together 7 rounds. Can you see and understand why I'm worried for M3 champions who said, oh, they're standing in our way again. We kind of just need to push past them, get out of the way. Well, you're not going to push past them if you're repeating the same mistakes. Didn't Einstein say if you repeat the same thing and expect a different result, that's the different definition of crazy? Is that what we're seeing today? Or do they truly think that week is enough?
I think Michael Mando says it in another game as well, to be fair. But like we were sort of saying about like Nats's performance on Chamber looking good, his Viper suits him perfectly here as well. Like if you're on the losing side and you've got a 334 ACS, you're still doing something right. It's just you want to see like Chronicle live up to that expectation. Played a bit of Brimstone. It was a little bit odd. They have moved away from that at least a little bit, but you still wonder, especially that we see Mech change up their roster and comps a little bit, if they've got some aces up their sleeve to use today.
Then what can you expect on Icebox in this case?
Yoru.
Not again. No, please.
No, come on. Be
not
serious.
Again.
I mean, Liquid, you don't change up anything now with what it's been working. For Mech, you don't want to change up what Nats is playing overall.
No, especially on Icebox.
I think a lot of pressure goes onto Defo, I think. I think naturally people are going to look at him. You know, Scoreboard Stevens, he's at the bottom. He's not performing his role well, but this would be a great chance to show up where it's very hard to just be that entry anyway if you're playing the Chamber. You see a lot of teams just not running duelists at all on this map because you could sort of like shuffle up to a site over on A. You don't need to smoke your way in as a jet and dash in. You could just sort of scale your way up, like lock down these positions and make it a really hard retake. But Liquid, I mean, their defensive sides have been great. I think they usually, on average, win them out 8-4. And they start on defense first, I think.
Yeah, this is the big thing for me right now. Is Shados I liked on the KO as well. I think that was a pretty damn good performance. And we've seen Shados play a plethora of agents as well. So for me right now, it is the biggest thing of, and who starts on attack on this map? That is my big question. That'll actually change.
Liquid in this case will
start on attack. Okay, so for the first half, we actually won't really know and dictate how the entire map would go, purely out of the fact that M3 champions have struggled on their attacks. So the second half is where it will be at. But compositions on the line here. Do we see maybe a change to the fade?
You'll immediately see what Mech change up, and it is like
there we go.
is going off that Brimstone, so Defo going over to the KO.
Okay.
I mean, we saw something similar on a map before where Defo moved over to the Sky on Bind, and it kind of worked out, but
it did
yeah, this is a tough one. Shados has had some pretty lackluster performances over on this map. They're still dedicated to the Brimstone.
Wow.
It's Redgar playing it instead. Other thing to highlight, Liquid, Soulcast's Fade, some of the best utility that we'll see, and how he combines with Scream, we sort of said it a bit yesterday, has been superb to watch.
Oh, Redgar, do it, bro, do it. I loved him on the Omen. I want to see him on the Brim do it again. You know what? I think it's great, and everyone scoffed at bringing Brim on this map, and I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was terrible.
It's like post-punk lineups more often than not, but you are the literally only team that is running this. You got to make it count.
You got to prove it.
Yes.
In some way.
Especially when you've already lost against this team by playing the Brimstone in itself.
Well, a lot of questions are raised with this matchup, but also with the agent lineup in the game. Finally, predictions very quickly for Icebox.
Oh, I reckon Team Liquid does it to them again. Not just on Icebox overall. So I'm gonna put my coin in there for Team Liquid. I think Mech has not improved their attacking problems in the playoffs thus far.
I think we're going to see Redgar throw a stim beacon at somebody's head. Just, you know.
Not again.
Yeah.
Well, there's what the public predicts for this: 54.5% Mech win, 45.5% for Liquid. But we don't have to theorycraft about this, at least for now, for map 1. Icebox is ready. Thank you guys so very much. Let's toss it to our casters, X-Warrior and Zesht. Enjoy.
Thank you, Milos, Jess, and Ryan. Yes, this is going to be a nail-biter. This is the lower bracket, and everything is to be fought over. Zesh, I'm so excited about this one.
Listen, right, your words, an absolute certified banger. I can tell you that. It is. Just a few weeks ago, they have played this map. We see a few adjustments, and this is making it all so exciting. So I would say at this point, let's take a look at those players again, and then we can directly head into Icebox.
The stage is set, the narratives are ready, and it is now time to head into the first elimination matchup, the first match of the lower bracket here in VCT EMEA playoffs. It's Merc versus Team Liquid, starting things off on Icebox, Zesh.
And Redgar said it. Just forget about it. Leave it be. It is what it is. It happened the way it happened, right? It happens, okay? Guild has been proven they're a world-class team. And this right here, I'm actually a bit of a fan that they pick the exact same maps. Because I believe if Mac has a perfect VOD to work off with, and once we review what happened, they can make it work. And they seem to start off quickly. It is Liquid aiming for that A-side attack, but look who's ready for that already.
It's all about adaptations here. It's all about how you're able to come back from your previous performances. They've played up against each other. We've heard the narratives on the desk, and now it's time to see it on the server. Chronicle starting things off with First Blood will open things up just a little bit to keep defensive stronger onto this A-site line. Nice little lineup for him, doubles it up as well. Team Liquid already struggling to find their approach.
It's ridiculous. I mean, he has swapped his role and makes it work immediately. A triple he gets as well. Spike gets down either way, but there are 5 men remaining for Mac to take back that site.
Chronicle has done just so much in this instance, right? Giving Team Liquid no chance to breathe, and now with Dreamer, Scream scrambling to have enough health to survive with this, trying to get a heal in there to keep Scream a little bit more comfortable to play around this, but these one-sided smokes on both ends are just too genius. Nats finds the upper ground. Yes, Dreamers might be able to hold on for just a little bit more, but Mech start things off, bang, and they'll get themselves First Blood.
I can't believe it. This is like a statement of intent for Chronicle to be like, I'm not here to just support anymore, right? They have made this change of putting him frequently and more on more aggressive agents, right? In the past, we always highlighted him as being, for example, a Brimstone that can find kills. But they have decided, okay, hold on, something isn't right in the aggressive department with us. Defo is not coming up with the numbers that we expect from him, the role he has. So let's swap it up with someone who constantly finds the amount of kills that we need. Ta-da, you got a Chronicle. Starts off with a pistol, 3 kills. On this map where they have done that change, it screams so much for Mac to be like, yeah, we know how to adapt and evolve from it. Sure, it's just 1 round, so we gotta see. But this already makes me very hyped, Palace. This is like already around the moment where I'm like, all right, we're in for a treat.
Oh, absolutely, man. You love seeing Chronicle play on these much more aggressive positions. Now, I guess the little trade there at the start didn't quite get the better end of it. Yampi was the one to find most damage, but quickly I kind of see Team Liquid sort of formulating around all of this area. Very default start by them. Mech, of course, are all going to be very reactionary with the Spectres as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Team Liquid, they've got good conversion with these eco rounds. You know, we've seen a lot of damage being taken out from these Sheriffs. You know that you can't really count them out on these instances.
Oh no, it absolutely feels like they're always caught in a Western movie, how often they make it work with a Sheriff.
Very true.
Very, very true.
Often Scream being the cowboy.
Oh, absolutely. Never seen a Belgian cowboy before, but...
No.
For sure. There's a niche.
Always time for something new.
Let's start round 2 with a Zeshtism. There we go. Anyway, 30 seconds left. Liquid with 1 astute and well fought through a execute, and there's no time to crumble for Mac, but they already lose Defo.
Oh, you may say it's time for something new, but I say it's high noon. The Sheriff started to shut them down, but Shados is there to answer right back in favor. Make that a quadra kill for Shados, because why the hell not? Nivera, life short-lived, because Mech are here to stay.
Looked dangerous for a second or two, right? Just jumping on the train, being like, yep, this could be actually the round where once more it's going to be one of those dangerous half-buys working. I just want to remind you, the last time we saw Team Liquid on this map, when they had this sort of half-buys, they were winning 6 out of 6. Sure, this is not necessarily half-life because it's Sheriff, right? They cost 800, but you get the idea. The economy doesn't need to be too good for Team Liquid to make it work. That was your Zoe power-up, and now, as we're heading into our next one, and as we're heading in round number 3, the setup is very clear. For Liquid, more focused to deny every kind of space that could happen in front of a bit of mid-presence from Yampi to hope that Redgar and Co will overextend, but none of this is happening. Liquid have really very much abused the space they've gotten previously from Mac in the previous series they had here. But now, it seems to be working absolutely fine. For the moment, we're only in a 2-0.
Yeah, Chronicle's position has just been telegraphed, so has to rendezvous out of there. But you can see Team Liquid quickly capitalizing on that space. Swale is mid, sort of attention. But very slow here from Team Liquid, looking to find that information. Chronicle falling further back and still finds another.
Again.
Already finding impact with that Headhunter. That's exactly what you want to see if you're mech.
And there it goes. Chronicle continues to wait and plays a perfect close-range angle. 45 seconds left. Seeker is not gonna get him, and he's out. Instantly out, plays it safe, and they can't even play for retake at this point. They'll be like, come at us if you want to, and they don't make it work. Yampi has been constantly the dedicated lurk, fails to do that again. And so we're in 30 seconds. The Nevera is quite deep into B, but the rest have to catch up. And you see the clock up there, Pavlos. It keeps on ticking louder.
Team Liquid really need to make a quick decision here, and it has to be a very good one. All they know is that they need to find a pick and quick, but Mech aren't really going to lie to that. Look how far back they've set up now. Really not allowing sort of Team Liquid to get in a close proximity with them to allow these trades, but importantly enough, they do get the spike down. But you can also see how far Dreamers is closed into this. Up against the wall there, already being broken up. Dreamers has to do everything already with the first one. Looking for the second, but out into the open. Chronicle quickly trading, but still 2 here for Team Liquid.
And they have to play this perfectly at this point. They have a massive disadvantage. Soulcast starts good, get Redguard down. And the spike being so much out in the open, they could benefit massively from it.
There
But
was
it's
a
not
moment
enough.
there was a moment you thought Nevera could have done it, but not quite. Mech able to find it with the numbers. And by the end of it, they will get the defuse down as well. It's already defused halfway. It's going to be a 3-0 start for Mech, and a devastating loss here for Team Liquid.
And I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there in this world, and we're just 3 rounds in, the sample size is low, but I think Chronicle is playing an absolutely phenomenal chamber at this point. Period. Absolute period. No discussion about it for me. And you saw right there the classic movements, the classic stances we see, and for example, in mid, you see the big X, that was Yampi dying. The man is constantly trying to lurk, and that's what he's constantly done in the previous game as well. But it doesn't always have to work, and if Mac, with that game they had on Icebox, can understand and realize what happened, and if Liquid have nothing new in their strat book, if there's new chapter added, this is where problems might become very visible early on. Again, we're very early in this though. It's just a few rounds played. 8 just put it out real quick, 8-0. Chronicle 8-0, and I think in every single round, Mag1 has found the entry so far.
And I mean, this is a perfect round to keep on extending that score, right? I mean, we're looking at Sheriff, Guardian only for Scream. I guess that something could come out of that, but obviously it's a big deficit to work on, especially on a map like Icebox. But now with the crossover towards this B site, seems to be a bit of an opening considering there's only one defender. Of course, Toxins, of course, will keep them back. And respect is handed over here from Mech. Interestingly enough, allowing Team Liquid to walk in. But there's a series of utility ready to be thrown at that spike plant position. Redgar's pushing mid also gathers a lot of information. And by the process of elimination, they start to know that this is going to be a direct B hit. You can already see Mech will start to rotate over now.
And Mech so far is not doing many mistakes. This feels a bit like a deja vu of the previous round we had. Just this time around, Liquid doesn't have too much considering the weaponry. So same round again, nobody's flanking around. They try to play together, and that time might be constantly ticking, but they don't have too many issues. Except Yampi is coming in with exactly what you see here. The Tour de Force could be the nuisance in this point.
Can it be though? Fragment causing him to be out into the open. Good little flash ride follow.
There you go. Perfect.
With the zero command. Nevera is actually putting that Sheriff to good use. Chronicle able to shut it down. Scream no longer to be able to find the angle. Classic in the midst of that smoke. Yampi unable to do it though. A lot expended there, but it is still Mech to gather it.
Yeah, I'm quite amazed. Every single, it feels a bit like a puzzle, right? A 1,000-piece puzzle. and you start with the edges, so only 996 pieces left. At that point in time, it feels like they constantly hit every single piece perfectly. No big issue so far. It's a perfect picture we're witnessing right now for Max. Sure, a few casualties here and there, a slight overextension maybe in that situation, but only a slight. It's not like they had too many casualties. So far it looks solid. Team Liquid with their more B-defaulty, very slow kind of approach. Mech is having none of it. You see, they have very, very, very focused approach on how to take room, what kind of room we take, and when to give up room. Because it never felt like somebody on the Mac side at the early stage had a first step in the sense of, oh, that was way too much. Oh, he was way too hungry for many kills. Didn't happen so far.
And now you sort of see Team Liquid, a team with the highest rated and the lowest rated players of playoffs, trying to bounce back at this point. Dreamers with a lot to prove, wanting to be a supportive player. But at this point, you expect more from Team Liquid. In playoffs, lost their first match against FPX and now need to recover. And there is no other room. This is it. This is the lower bracket. This is where they need to start performing. First duel coming out, no one connects their shots.
It did, actually. Look at Chronicle. He got tagged for the wall, but he didn't die in the end.
Very lucky.
So, a big risk. That dagger spot at all, though. And when we take a look at the Liquid side, on the Gambit side, they have so much to still deny to get you on site. 2 snake bites remain, still a smoke, still also the Molotov from KO. It's wonderful. Try to get on the side, Liquid. Do it.
There's a lot of risk having Redgar here. You usually want the chamber so you can rendezvous, but this is a Brimstone. Has to use a Stim Beacon and the smoke to run away, but it did get too risky. Now, Team Liquid have to move in. 13 seconds. Yampy with the opener. Looking to follow through. That's a quick war to come through. Yampy going in for more. Look at the left side corner. That's the Toxins now starting to formulate. That's the wall. The flash drive as well. Meg trailing in numbers. The shots coming through the smokes, and that's Nats with the backstab, but it might be all too late. Viper spit drops. Spike goes down, and Team Liquid have got full control.
And it's only Nats to make that work. Tries to enter it. And tries to take out 4 players off the Liquid side. It would be the first success, a breath of relief for sure, a sigh of relief that we're going to witness. But I think it's nothing really coming his way. The only thing he can try is to demolish the economy of the enemy as much as possible. That's Nevera down, though, and things seem to become somewhat possible.
Yeah, I guess some damage at least. Time is dwindling.
Yeah.
No other kill either, unless there's some sort of a catapult play in mid. But, you know, that is Team Liquid finding their way onto the board, and that's what you want to see. Trade goes in favor of Sokos, so no weapons recovered here for Mech. So that's a solid way for Team Liquid to find their way in the game.
Yeah, a minor mistake. Was talking about the snake bites the entire time, but Nats was on A. So that didn't even have any impact. But you saw it right there, where you were at the 30-second mark, and Mac had all the utility left to still deny. It was millisecond decisions that ruined it, sort of, in the end. It's so important for Liquid to make that one work right here. What they don't have, and I think that's kind of crucial, is Soulcast, who can make everyone deafened on the side and low on HP. So let's look how he's going to use that. But in the meantime, Yumpy's taking in a more aggressive stage toward mid. Finally, has the operator in hand. Looks if anyone is popping his head. Shados could be the first victim in this. Will it happen, though, is the question. As the smoke pops, no vision. And so, as Liquid discovered a bit in front of A, have nobody positioned B, once more the silence around the map falls.
Yeah, you made a good point that this is a stage of the game where high-impact ultimates start coming in. And this is where you see Macro playing a little bit more gravity to it. Bit of a push and pull over the B side mid as well. You can see Yampy rendezvousing away towards the right side of the map, but still sticking strong. Prowler does spot out Chronicle. Has to move out of there, but does find his way to the back end of Yellow. Or could be a grand opportunity. Look at the Team Liquid players are starting to line up. They seem to know where it's going to come from.
Oh, no.
Oh, both chambers missed their shots, and now there's another opportunity.
No.
That's an opener for Chronicle. Time dwindling for Team Liquid, but they're starting to move in here. Toxins enabled, Resurrection, bringing all players back alive here for the Liquid side. Wall, not going for the part though, not quite next to the wall. Soulcast wanting to aggress, Soulcast with a double, and they get the spike down. Now they can fall back to defensive positions. It's up to Mech to go for the retake.
And there's not much more they can do at this point in time. It feels near impossible. And when we take a look at the utility, sure, there's a smoke, 2 snake bites, and information dart. All of this is available, right? But they do the reasonable thing. and take the weapons home. Dreamers might crush those dreams, but I very much do not believe that that's going to be the case. Shado at least takes that Yamp. Yeah, you know,
Something. It's something.
It's something.
You know?
It's not much, but it's something. It was a Soul Cavs individually really stepping up in there because it was still a 5 versus 5. It was still a very good retake capability. Wait,
The thing is that there was also a player to the right that was shooting at Dreamers. So a bit of a waffle. Yeah, everybody survived.
Yeah, no, it looks like... No, never mind. Nats was chasing, but not for long enough. Remarkable stuff from Chronicle in the end, but most important are Soulcast in this round, for sure. The individual that really stepped it up was taking a peak that was maybe a slight bit risky, but in the end still made it work absolutely fine. And we saw it there from Liquid. One of the first times they finally aggressed a bit towards Smith. Not that it was necessarily bringing them too much. Surely showing presence, surely shooting that one shot. Not going to peek mid again because there's an operator. But Team Liquid positioned himself a bit differently right now. More A-focused, it most definitely looks like. And as they already been spotted early, though, it does not seem to bother them too much. Because one thing that Liquid did really well in their A executes against Max last time around was really getting close to 410. Because Mac does not take any risks there. They do not prod forwards. They do not move forwards. And you so far saw the Chamber do mainly its work over on B. Mainly.
Team Liquid, the trendsetters, if you will. Whether many follow in their path is a different question. They'll probably have to prove their ideas as strong ones. But the A side seems to be open here. I think they found an opening. They've realized it. Brawler, Alarm Bot as well, starting to move forwards. Boom Bot.
Yeah, but they're still Shados with his old Pavlos. If they realize that there is something coming their way, I very much believe they will have a problem.
Yeah, but that's an interesting plan.
They don't know.
Aimed at the wrong direction, and it's a little bit too late to get that first tag. I think it did damage to Redgar there just a little bit. Now we can see Team Liquid formulating these post-plant positions, but Yampi's still up close, and it's a perfect angle to pick up Defo. Rendezvous away, and even though there's one-sided smoke, Streamers has an upper angle here, and they can clearly shoot down on the spike from that position. Now comes in the haunt.
Hold on.
Now they can't hear, but they're sticking to the defuse, and they can't
No
him.
way.
No way it got defused. No way that's how Mech get the win.
This is where you love Brimstone, right? His smokes are so good. The two he places to the left-hand side of Belt, to the right-hand side tower pipes, and your vision is pretty much blocked. And you're going to see it right here. You don't directly know where Redgar is. You could see it a little bit if you have the right positioning, but Dreamus didn't have the right angle on him. And so he kept on sticking, was diffusing from the lower side on the boxes. Brilliant stuff. Exactly individually played perfect.
And I think you could also see Team Liquid a little bit panic at the end there and trying to get the diffuser off that spike. But at the end of the day, you know, you also had Mech pushing a little bit more forwards, and they actually ended up with a lot of those kills by the end of it. So Team Liquid, a little bit troubling now. I'm getting Greek economy vibes right now.
Did you say Greek economy vibes?
Maybe.
That could have been really out of my Zeshtin factory. All right. Thanks a lot. I really love it. Gonna remember that one. Trying to counter the one-way with their own little orb. Chronicle got a TP away again. They found a really good way to get him out of the somewhat aggressive angle he has in front of B. But Liquid, with their classic defaults, waiting in front of B a little bit, trying to find something, swapping sides. And you see there was a big contact in the form of Yampi, who got very deep. And Mac doing the same as usual. They have no real interest in holding A actively. And you saw why right there, Pavlos. You saw why they don't seem like we have to take it. And so they get on the site. That is for certain. They get the control. That is for certain. But
yeah,
what
I think
will
already Mech realized it by the end of that. I mean, there was a recon bolt that only spotted out the Sage. Dreamers not getting caught out by the orbital strike, but it also means he's left isolated onto that position all by himself. Soulcast to the left end. Mech looking to formulate towards that main entry. This is where the smoke starts to fall. That is the null commander enabled. How much close can you get to the action? Nat's pushing through, but it seems that Team Liquid very aggressive with those angles. Nevera also holding down the line. Scream starting to press those headshots. There's Chronicle on the back end looking to hold on. Chronicle again, unable to find the Sheriff shot in time. And that is Team Liquid simply overwhelming there with their firepower.
Yeah, and you see how successful they are with getting on A site. I mean, sure, the previous one was lost because of a retake that was done by Mech, but I personally believe that maybe in the long run of this haul, the last few rounds that remain, they might present us a different stance on the side of A for the future. But for now, Great stuff by Liquid. Really disrupting the retake capabilities and the retake procedures that we would have seen from Mac. So that fight free, still obviously in favor of Mac. Sure, Chronicle leading the charge massively. This is the point in time where he is coming in with his tour de force, still playing it on B, still no A control at all as they focus a bit more towards mid and towards tube. And Team Liquid at this point are going to be like, hey, thank you very much. I think we're going to take that.
Yeah. Free gift at this point, why not?
Yeah. I mean, they rule out mid at this point, and they rule out B long. So it seems like it's a very, very clear case of what is about to happen.
I'm just curious to see how much damage Mech are able to inflict here.
They
Obviously,
delay.
there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah?
Snake bites thrown at them, you know, they can't really move aggressively just yet. They're moving as a unit here. They know they can't really take any risks. Sort of Mech was in that little force-up territory economically, so they are a little bit wary of it, but no, it's just pistols. And it's sort of a matter of just closing this out on time, really. You have to remember the stakes in this game,
Oh,
Zesh.
yeah.
You have to remember how important this game is overall. We're talking about a lower bracket, no returns, therefore closing this up gap quickly here for Team Liquid is vital. And they don't drop a single player, crucially enough.
So let's see, actually, in that round number 10 that we're about to enter, if we get a timeout. Because I personally would see it happening on the max side of things to finally pull that one off, but if they're not interested in it, they're not interested in it. I'm just very curious if they keep the same stance towards A, because time and time again, it feels a bit like I watched a replay of week 5 of the regular group stage of challengers, because they still do the same thing on A. But here is the change, Pavlos. As anticipated, here comes the chamber, here comes the SOA, and here comes the KO. This is going to be interesting at how much aggression they will take, or how much of a surprise it will be when suddenly a Chronicle is standing there. He has done that in the pistol round. He's been successful with that in the pistol round. 3 kills he got there. But so far, Liquid is not very keen and interested in it. Possibly feeling it. Possibly feeling like Mac is surely aware that they need to adapt.
And I'm sure Mech also have the back end of their heads, you know, their weakness, the attack side, right? How much of a buffer can they build now on the defensive side? How far can they take this before it's too late?
You have to say one thing, though. The last time they've played, obviously, that was Mac only getting 4 rounds on defense. Most of them actually on good old retakes. It was a very back and forth game. I think I don't really want to talk about that, but
Yeah. So we're already doing a little bit better.
yeah. I mean, yes, they do a little bit better. If you say 1 round is a little bit better, yes. Is it the ambition of Mac? No. No.
Mind you, it was a 13-8 loss in favor of Team Liquid, so they've got a long way to go here.
But Liquid adapt to what Mac probably would have done. And so they go back to the B side executes. Very quick. Stream is trying to find anything, push players away. And as there is the Viper ult, he's like, all right, I gotta do something about it. His rocket is about to go out of fuel.
Oh, no! Oh dear. Well, misses out on the time there. Oh, does set.
Whoa!
Dreamer can't die.
Time!
Bot doesn't commence, and now they have to push. They need to get
0
the kills.
seconds.
Snake bites thrown out there. Now they need to go for the plants. I think he's just got it in time.
Yeah,
Just
he got
barely.
it.
Oh! That is the toxins taking the life of Yampi from Nats, but it's simply not good enough. Mech fail to get the plant. Team Liquid get the dub, although they lose all players. Or did I just switch that up? No, it's Mech to get the win.
They Mac get the win, but imagine right there,
Wow.
Pavlos. Imagine for a second that Scream is popping his ult just when that 1 millisecond was left. Because he was very much aiming to shoot that behind the containers, right? You see it right here. Look at it. Nats is exactly anticipating what's happening. He cannot send in his ult. Shoot it, mate.
Just lingered.
Just act like it's a Rambo movie or something.
Half a second.
It really is. And then they
just
play it perfectly. The second snake by Pavlos, look at that. He anticipates perfectly the movement of Yampi, and he's out of his. You're dead,
That
man.
is mad. That is just crazy. I really like the idea from the Scream, right? I mean, throw the pencils to the right side, try and draw them towards the left. Could have gotten a kill on potentially Nats there. Who Nats was the entire difference maker of that round. He was the one that killed both attempting planters. And now they're in trouble. This is where the Team Liquid timeout comes in. 2 rounds of difference. And a chance for them to grab back ground that they lost. And start to rethink how they want to approach this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It feel like again, you witnessed how they adapted to Team Liquid likes to go A, and then suddenly they went B. I mean, it is as simple as that from time to time. Surely there's much more to it, but we see a classic. This is going to be absolutely alarm bells. We're going to go mid to B. And they draw the attention away from A. So they're selling this. They make them believe they could wait very deep in Tube, but look who could make the change.
Oh, it could be Chronicle. It could be Chronicle. He gets one. He was a far in position, gets the info, gets out of there. Resurrection has to be expended here, though. And now you'll already see Mech circulating back to the A site. They already have 3 defenders to the back lines. And that's the important part. Team Liquid don't mind that, though. They're starting to push through anyway. They don't care. Yampi very aggressive, Tour de Force in his hands. DreamHack will be able to achieve the spike plant as well. They think it's a very passive plant, but no, it's fairly deep onto the site. Yampi finds a lurking defo, and now May wants to go in for more. Viper's Pit now enabled. We're looking at a 5v4. DreamHack's Reaper on his feet, and it's able to give Shados the info to get the kill. Out and out, Yampi gets another on their back end, and now Team Liquid with full control.
And that's their smoker dead. That is Brimstone, who's so vital in those retakes, which means make it on individual plays, and that starts exactly with that, beheading Soulcast.
Has to keep it close, but it can't
saving.
be easy. It's the Viper's Pit, right? You know you're damaged up. They're 3 players. If you spray at them, they are dead, and that is a very expensive operating rifle as well as the Phantom to save over on the mech side. Very well played out from Team Liquid. Did not slow down their pace at all.
And the idea was good initially. Mac was reading it as well. They were trying that mid to B fake once in a while. And I think like, yeah, this is going to get him all off rotation. But the man who stayed was Chronicle. From that point on, though, they were once more pushed back in the defensive stance because that Resurrection was exactly what they needed. This is where it was once more a 5v5, and Chronicle couldn't hold it all on his own. So that's where the story told. Of course, Liquid doing it well with sending a Prowler just in his direction. It could be just a very well tied up half. Again, though, I think it is an improvement from Mech we're seeing. Same starting half in the same previous game, only 4 secured. It's looking better. It's looking way more promising. And it could even be a decent lead they're taking. A 7-5 is nothing too crazy, but something you can work with.
Yeah, definitely not too bad of a lead. I mean, especially if Defo gets a kill here. We are talking about a null command available. Ooh, I thought that could be a kill for Chronicle, but it just isn't. And it seems like Team Liquid are pivoting now towards this B site. Toxins can be enabled, and you see Mech fairly deep with their positioning. 2 players hold. Smokes will fall, but they're not holding back at all. Look at the rush in. Yampi just swings by. Redcar in the sky smoke. They've got no clue he's here. That could be a double kill for Redcar, and that's just a stinger. Soulcast looking to bounce back from it, but the damage has already been done. The plant commences, and we're looking at a 3-on-3.
That was a stinger, mate. That's absolutely ridiculous. The good part is exactly that. Soulcast still has this thing available.
It's not all over just yet.
No, it isn't.
The Team Liquid have the upper hand. They're the ones defending. Now Mech looking to approach. Toxins will be trouble. Flash drive has to be utilized. Yampi, which angle can you find? That's Chronicle now down and out.
Oh, this is good.
Also has to fall. Yampi steps up to the plate when it's most required. And there's only one singular player remaining on the Mech side, but not for long. Give it up. Set up that mantelpiece for Yampi. He wants a 4th player to be set up there. That's his skull now on his table.
This is wonderful. It's wonderful due to the fact that Liquid recently made this change. The game versus Mac was the first game where they put Yampi onto Chamber, away from that Omen with him. And it was a perfect change from an individual basis. Sure, this was insanely smart from Redcar, exactly knowing how to use those very close range weapon. Lofor has his own tactics, but you could also full auto spray. That works as well. And there it goes. It still is a proper one. It took a lot of time for Liquid to adapt on this. It took a few minutes. And when we talk about Icebox, their pick, it is, let's say, decently even. They have good advantages on the attack side with their new composition. Always starting attack, though. Gotta really emphasize that. And with the previous composition, they were just better on defense, which is absolutely logical. Double controller just smells more like, yep, we love how to hold sites. But this right here needs to really work with map control. And let's see if they make that one work.
I'm moving into kitchen at least now. I mean, seems to be figured out here by Yampi, but he could be in trouble. That's a perfect flash. They know where Yampi's hiding out. Nivera needs to help out, but he's also damaged up himself. Mech have got a perfect read on this, although they sustain the position to not get hurt by the paint shields. Nivera is able to find one onto the other end. Chronicle does trade back the chamber kill, but we're still looking at a 4-on-4, and now they're trapped around kitchen. Team Liquid have circulated around them.
I mean, the man is a literal headhunter. The man is a literal headhunter, but they still have made it on site perfectly. Shados might be trapped, but you see right there, Scream has no paint shells to throw into this. And as Defo tries to find another headshot, he dodges, gets a beautiful kill on Ivera. And so only 3 remain.
Got the dink on Dreamas, but it was through
The wall, yeah. Or the snow or something, I don't know.
the ground.
Maybe, who God knows.
3-on-4.
But
And that's with a perfect position. Oh, Nat's keeping it going.
That's awkward.
Dreamas. Oh, he wanted to put a wall up or something, but still doesn't work out. Dreamas to try and make it work, but Shados just Ferrari peeks that corner. And that is Mech now on top. 7 on the board for them. That's how you want to start off your attacking side.
yeah, that's how you want to start off your attacking side. You say it, man. Absolutely, you say it. This is wonderful. And you know, I gotta be honest with you, Mac is overall not the best pistol round team in the world so far. Not the very, very best for sure.
No.
And this is such a very good direction. They're steering the right position with this team. But Liquid and Sheriffs are a combination that I find, let's say,
Scary?
yeah, scary, dangerous.
Hazardous.
Michael Schumacher in his prime, dangerous. Something like that.
Yeah. Something that needs to be respected.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nivera has the right angle for putting one down, but they trade at least. Headshot machine starts off good, but instantly they enter onto that B side with no real issue. Worried for a second,
Yeah.
but Spectre Masterclass from Redgarb. 8-6 is absolutely in the books. No real doubt about it. And so there we go. This is where we
Mech
start.
knew exactly what to do. Just close up those gaps. Just push forwards. Team Liquid just couldn't stop it.
I'm just very curious to see what they do with the chamber, because what we've seen time and time again from Yampi was a variation in his play, right? He was very A-focused the last time around, with a little bit of mid and under tube spiced in when they played against him on the defense side. And so he does what he does best, and this seems to be taking aggressive mid control with his TP. This is exactly what is about to happen. And in combination with Fate and Raze here, I'm scared, Pavlos. I think something's gonna be thrown down there, possibly. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a bit slow. But it's a stack up, that's the important part. And you can also see Team Liquid spending a lot of players in this direction. Yampi may be all by himself. What can you find? Just a singular one. That's a free Guardian now to be upgraded here for Defo. But still, sustained positions, while Team Liquid now have left open the A site, so they're wondering, is there going to be a push in that direction? They have to expend that extra
They
player.
didn't see it.
Oh dear.
They did
And
not.
that is Redgar. He's pushing up, but still a trade. That's the perfect situation for Mech, especially when Nats is coming from that position. They've got no clue. Gives the call that the B site's completely open and can even go in for more. Oh, he doesn't turn around in time.
The timing.
Oh, and that is when Nivera gets the kill. Oh, Nats, that could have been perfect,
It
but
could have
now
been
turned around.
wonderful.
Anything could happen.
And suddenly you have no more smokes or walls left. They still get that spike down for certain, and Defo with a wonderful kill, but not much more than dead.
Oh, Shados.
He's
Got all
trapped.
to do. And Soulcaster's got the right angle. As soon as Team Liquid gets some weapons in the game, they're able to retrieve a victory. They got a little bit too close, but they get it done nonetheless.
Well, I mean, I like the try, I like the approach in the way they have done it. Perfect swing into mid. Loafer would be very happy about those fundamentals, I can very much tell you that. But that 8-7 is where the momentum could shift. Both parties not with the best economic reserves. It looks a bit better on the side of Mech, but it matters so much for Liquid to get that one going. Fracture would be up next. Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch, right? That's a few more rounds in. But they take a bit more of a mid-aggression. Mac is very keen to see what they can find over there. As we always have the same thing. Soulcast playing towards spoiler. They rule out, though, B already. And that's what I'm kind of worried about. This could force a big rotation from Liquid and being like, guys, I spotted out everything in front of B. Nothing's going to happen there. This is I'm slightly worried at this point because Scream is absolutely ready. The bot will give it away, and there's otherwise not too much rep control besides the Nats in front of A.
Nats has been lurking quite a bit this game, so if he's able to find an opening towards that A site and sustain that position, that would be perfect. But the plan for Mech is to differentiate. Now taking up kitchen control, deeper movement towards this B site, but you can see the wraparound from the spike is starting to switch things up. They're starting to realize, okay, the A side is a little bit open. Red card, the push onto the B side does allow him to cross forwards, but I think they've already made the wrong call. The spike is already headed towards the wrong direction. But Mech, importantly, split the map in two and can play around these rotations. It's all about getting these picks, but Scream has got the better of them. He'll never miss that shot.
Nope.
And now Mech is trailing. Paint Shell's at Chronicle. How do you open things up here? Check your left side, but check your right side as well. Yampi's got that covered. Mech are messing up right now
that's done.
massively. Overcomplicating the situation.
What is it?
And now the time is no more.
That's done.
Solkas has to hold it down.
Is it
10
done?
seconds. Defo with 10 HP. That's how you fall. Yampi with the upper ground, and that is Team Liquid to equalize.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Is that done, or isn't it done, or is there suddenly a Mac miracle coming in? But there we go. 8-8 it is. And so Mac, they got all they need to now, well, not necessarily make it work. They can get close to it. Liquid is certainly building a bit of economy, not too crazy. But there it goes. A-side attack seems to be on the menu for the moment. As the Russian squad stops on focusing on mid, something we have seen now of them do pretty much everything that is close to a buy. And so they rule out early. Dreamers has to back off. The only one supporting him over on the side itself would be Scream. And if they have to anti something over on Gen, I would be surprised if they don't, if anything, to deny his position there. That's a very early wall.
Very early wall. It's going to be broken up as well. Hunter Fury. Oh, okay. Dreamers might be in trouble. Tagged once. His third time the charm. It is. Shados gets an early kill here. And Team Liquid still have to keep T players in place. The one in mid also wrapping around, but Mech stayed composed. All put a strike to shut down rotations, but Scream comes up alive. Redcar able to balance up the scales, but Soulcast also chimes in. Mech really need to kill here.
No
and maybe
way.
able to find it. Redcar elevated, able to find it, but the horns will be troubling. Now you can't really hear. You've lost all your senses. Shados has to sniff his way out of this one. Soulcast on the right end, one onto the left. There's no way you can isolate that, especially with no audio cues. And that is Team Liquid now on top, 9-8.
Oh well, oh well, oh well. It is remarkably well done by Team Liquid how calm they remain, even though it didn't look too solid at the beginning with that death on the side of Dreamers. But outside of that, Mech's executions are not looking too clean at this point, or get too interrupted by Liquid. Let's put it that way. We saw a lot of isolated duels that Scream has won right here, which is something that I personally do not like to see from Mech, in a sense of that they always seem so flawless in a fundamental basis. But at the same time, we have seen throughout this stage a few flaws in that sense. For example, the loss against Big. Sure, I have to talk about Big in one broadcast. They were the ones... Yeah, of course. They were the ones who really struggled on an individual basis with a few mistakes. So they really got to stop that. Maybe take a time on anytime soon. But for the moment, Soulcast finds Redcar. And with those Sheriffs, I have a slight bit of hope, but not too much.
Yeah, you can't really have too much hope. I mean, the moment you spoke about Big, I thought there's some hopeful zest appearing out of the shadows. But yeah, no. This round is just more than over. Although they get the spike down on a kill, ain't too bad of a deal. But, you know, Team Liquid, this is them getting into double digits. And remember, last time these two teams met up against each other, 8 rounds was the maximum Mech were able to achieve. The score ended 13-8. So they've got some room to make, and maybe they've got some deja vus coming up.
And I have to say one thing, Liquid is really solid in retakes right here. Overall in the game versus FPX, I don't really want to talk about it. And to do the Jose Mourinho, if I talk about it, I'm in big trouble. So it was really not the best that they have delivered over on that map, where they are usually quiet, solid at with retaking control of a site. Especially when, throughout the entirety of Stage 2, those guys have been so good with retaking room, as they use Soulcast and his Fate ability so well. And this is what they prove right here. This is what they prove to me personally right here, that they once were capable to come in late in the round when even the opponents have taken the room.
I mean, there's also been a lot of criticism around Mech's attacking side, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
So I guess we've seen a little bit of Chronicle's aggressiveness come out with that switch to Chamber, but how much do we kind of fundamentally see them change up here? It's a big question we've all got, sort of see if they're able to come back, because you need to be able to set things right, fix those mistakes. You're in playoffs and you're in the lower bracket. No margin for error.
Not the slightest. Not one bit. And so we will see what's going to happen with it. I mean, Liquid so far, not very operator heavy, in that half at least, which is something I very much like to see because they usually rely on it so much, but they don't need it to win at this point in time. And so we go, and so we enter. Redgar and Co have decided to go for the B side. No real jokes anymore. It's time to push in, and this is exactly what is about to happen. They might make control inside. Nivera has to escape and runs away as fast as possible. But they don't seem to meet anyone at this point in time. Purely on retake Liquid.
Oh, the Viper Spit does drop. No command expended right at the start, so a lot already used up for this push, and Redcar wants to go even further, but Little doesn't know there's just 3 players lying in wait. That is Scream connecting a shot. Again, not missing it. Showstopper. Where can you find a pick here, Scream? Will you be able to use that Showstopper in time? Seems he'll leave it right at the last second once again, but doesn't want to miss the shot to actually use it. Chronicle comes alive. That's a double. Shados as well. Resurrection looking to bring it back to a 3-on-3, but now they need to cross into the journey that is this Viper Spear, and it's just doing so much damage to them. Snakebite also at their feet. This is delaying the spike defusal. Scream still gets the kills, but they're really running out of time. Nats is still alive, but not for long. I think they missed the opportunity to defuse, which means Mech will be able to get the win in the end and put them on 9 rounds.
Am I crazy, or did he restart the defuse? There's a potential I'm crazy, don't get me wrong. And my eyes are tricking me. But goodness, Mac need a lot to make it work. A KO ult invested, a Viper ult invested, all those things brought in.
Last player standing.
And he's doing everything to the left. Look at it! Seems to be look!
Oh,
He's redone it!
One enemy remaining.
No way.
I think still there would have been just
He would have made it.
milliseconds
He
away.
would have had
I
it.
really don't think he would have, actually.
He would have.
Yeah?
99%
Okay.
sure.
Okay, well, I trust you. Oh,
Doesn't mean I'm right.
After all. No?
Hey,
No.
no, don't trust me. But I'm quite sure I'm right.
Don't trust me, but I'm right.
I'm right.
Trust
100%.
me. Don't trust me.
Just trust me, bro, please. Okay?
You're sending me mixed signals here,
Hey,
Zesh.
listen, just trust me. Do me the
Just
favor.
like my ex.
All right, good. From a therapy session to actual war. Mech versus Team Liquid. Scream is trying to send him back where he came from. Yeah, Chronicle very much does so. But it's a good start for Mech, dealing decent damage on Scream. Soulcast also looking how he's working with 70 points of health, but here's the Yampi I know.
Yeah, he really loves these deep positions.
Yep, didn't play too much so far on A.
Oh, but he might have the chance to pop off. Doesn't even use a rendezvous. He didn't really have it available either.
Nope.
So it was crucial he got that kill and got out of there. And especially now that Redcar's got the upper ground. That was perfect timing there for Yampi.
And again, we have a Nats lurking. We have 30 seconds left on the clock. And don't get me wrong, Pavlos, but I don't see them entering B. It has to be a decision that has to be made right now. But nope, they're entering A immediately. With not too many soldiers on the site. But look who's selling it all. Hello, I'm Nats, and I
hello,
want your
Nats.
attention.
And now Team Liquid are lingering,
This
right?
is
Where's
good.
this planted at? Oh, Scream knows! But only good for one. And Nats is there to give the info that they're both coming in from spawn. And they still need to be wary of their backline. Oh, this is scary for Team Liquid. But well executed by Mech, always putting Nats in these positions. And he, gave away the call.
knows.
One approaching from heaven. Chronicle with a right angle. Oh, okay, could have gone wrong there.
Oh, and he still dodges it. That's absolutely
Sidesteps.
remarkable.
And he goes in for more, but Dreamer's able to find the kill, but I don't think they'll be able to do too much after that. Dreamer's looking to
You
pre-fire.
have to do something.
Oh, maybe they've got it! Maybe they do! Oh, he misses
What?
the shot, Nats, no! And that is Team Liquid somehow pulling it out of their pocket when it wasn't even theirs.
We need to see this in slow-mo. Because I believe for a millisecond, we witnessed that Nats saw his head. I could be wrong. It could have just been the ponytail or something.
I think he saw his head and I think he just dropped.
Okay, yeah, so he flanks
Okay,
around.
let's see it all from the start. Let's see it all from the
He
start.
flanks, smart man, no doubt. Chronicle, also, no idea how he's alive, but...
No idea how they missed their shots later on as well.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Okay.
Nats is moving in.
Nats.
All right. Very good free cam operation.
Okay.
Has a good awareness. Okay.
Let's see it slow down a bit here. I'm sure he sees his head.
I mean...
Oh, you can't tell from that angle, but you must have had.
I believe he did.
Oh, man.
My goodness me.
That shouldn't have been Team Liquid's round. And now they're on 11. 2 away from closing this out. And Mech have no money. This is a Sheriff and Spectre buy.
And you're out. See you later, mates. Not allowing that kind of plans. Wonderful stuff. Team Liquid is so good with how they ult A and how they play it defensively afterwards. So you're sucked in? No problem. Definitely, we exactly know where you are, and you should be dead any second soon. Yep. That's wonderful. They really know how to retake this with the abilities they have.
All right. Although there is a snake bite at Dreamaz's feet, there's no bullets that can be thrown at him. Now another one will take the hurdle and start diffusing. Hunter's Fury desperately trying to keep them off it, and Nats as well finds another.
Yeah, that is it.
Didn't expect they'd use that, to be fair, but things are getting desperate here. Mech might have improved on their previous score of 8 on Icebox against Team Liquid, but it seems that's all they're getting. Team Liquid on map point.
I'm genuinely a little bit surprised with what I'm witnessing right here from Mech. Their cohesion is just not that present, and you said it, right? Their attacking side has overall never looked too good on a few maps. On Icebox, it was alright last time around. You know, the one victory against Na'Vi, you know, maybe giving us a bit of a fake idea of how it actually was, but either way, it is 3 more rounds. It is all possible for Mac, but with an entry like this, the 2 chambers fighting against each other and only one prevailing, it's a very clear picture.
And let's be fair, Chronicle has been such an instrumental part for the Mech to get these rounds, right? So many times he's the guy that opens things up and gets the multi-kills.
Enough.
But if it's not him, it's Nats. Viper's Pit in mid, and that cuts off rotations. That keeps players busy. Nats with a triple, okay. We thought it was all done and over, but not just yet. Nats is turning things around here, maybe able to find another. Nivera puts him to his grave, but it's not impossible. We've seen Team Liquid on the clutch before.
We have, very much. And I mean, particularly the brothers.
Orbital strike.
Also that, for sure, but I mean, at this point in time, they're reasonable. And I'll be honest with you, Pavel, for a second I felt trapped in a Jim Bro TikTok of Nat saying, fine, I'll do it myself. And he decided himself. Right? It worked wonders, just pushing middle, being not so orthodox in what you do.
That's that little set piece there.
Yeah.
You know.
It worked fine. It was really nice to watch that he just absolutely catched Liquid by surprise. And so Mech are still in it for the moment. You see it right now, the economy of Liquid is not really allowing them to come up with too much. Good for them that they are quite decent with shares in their hand, let's put it that way. And one thing I'm very happy about as well is that this is an individual performance of Dreamaz that is good. Because he constantly has been on the bottom of the scoreboard, and I cannot really blame him. He's coming in last second, takes roll, he doesn't usually play. That's a big obstacle, and he's really doing decent at this point in time. But Mac, talking about doing decent, I think that's the best adjective to describe it so far, but they can do better. At least trade it. At least trade it. But it's a clear picture, because A side is being ruled out. This is all B, and Liquid knows.
Yeah, Nivera has to take a very open angle there. A little bit of a risk taken. Poison Cloud also giving her the one way, but he doesn't fall back to site. He actually goes all the way around, and they don't check it. No way. Oh, Nivera, this could be golden. What was the trigger? And now realizes where's the rest. Gives the call to the team. They must be on site. Team Liquid, this is perfect. This is one hell of a way to close out a map. Scream with the showstopper. Down you go. The show's over. Draw the curtains. Team Liquid on 13 as they take down Icebox, the first map of the series.
Well, what shall I say? It's once more nothing else. A little bit of a bonus in the Sheriff here and there. A smart Nivera waiting behind yellow to make it work. It was a remarkable and solid start. Remarkable is a bit of a, well, too much over the top, but a very decent start from Mac over there in the first half, with a Chronicle showing why he should probably play Chamber. But then the second half really lacked the creativity and the usual well cohesion we see from Mac. It just was not enough in that. But there's still a map to go, and it looked a good bit better than the previous years we had between Mech and Liquid.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough, to be fair, but now is where everything has to get decided. We'll see how this one turns out right after the break. We'll see you then.
Welcome back, friends, and that was map number 1, Icebox. Like we said, repetition of the same maps that Team Liquid and Mech went up against one another in Week 5 exactly 1 week ago, and things, well, that entirety of that wheel, you know, Ouroboros, the Wheel of Time, all that, it seems to all be repeating, because Team Liquid have taken Icebox, not as strongly as they did the first time they played Mech, but still were able to do it regardless. Your thoughts?
Run, Forest, run. Groundhog Day. I'm getting a lot of different vibes from this entire match. Other than, I also want to say I knew it as well. I turned to you in the green room before Milosh and I said, if Team Liquid gets 5 rounds on the first half, I just see them winning this match. I just can see this being the thing where Mech gets onto their attack and struggles. I really think this is just another one of days at the office where Mech can't string together attacking rounds.
Yeah, and racking up those rounds was always going to be tough enough because they were 4-0 down to begin with.
Yep.
You said just then, like, Liquid, they took it a lot harder than they did the last time that they faced Mech. But Mech won both pistols and also a bonus round as well in the first half. This was Mech's to lose, realistically. And I was praising both these teams because there wasn't any getting thrifty by any side. Sure, there was mistakes, but it was just full buys against full buys, holding onto economy. The last 4 or 5 rounds were crazy in how they ebbed and flowed, switching from which team was going to end up winning. But then you see Mech lose up against 1 rifle in the last round.
I mean, it was Nivera,
It was just, that is the principal moment, I suppose, of like, that's where Mech fall. And it's just, you can have 1 really rough round for Mech and that could be it.
It wasn't just a rough round. I really feel like that second half, I felt it deep in my heart. I knew that second half would be tumultuous. I knew Mech would be climbing up against it, even if they had rounds to work with, even if they won pistols, even when they won seconds and converted. My heart knew it. That round, I think Zesh was like, he must have seen his head. Just want to clear the air there, and the fact and give the man a little bit of leeway. He couldn't have seen the head because the spike was in the way. So I don't want him to cop flack, but he actually couldn't have seen Dreamus's head there. So
it's also the round before that Dreamus gets off the bike.
He
so
does.
This time he was like, I'm not making the same mistake. I'm sticking it.
it.
Pros don't fake. Pros don't fake. But like, if that's what you want to see from like Liquid, right? Like, that's the kind of like solid team performance. The calling was good. They took timeouts when Mech was starting to come back into it, and really it felt like Mech were running off that pop-off ability, and they were sort of droughted out, I suppose, to an extent.
Yes, do go.
You were going to say no.
I was just going to say that you were saying Mech were trying to do the pop-off ability. They were also trying to do the Nats lurk thing again. And I wanted to pull out just real quickly to show everyone what Team Liquid, because Team Liquid looked like a gunning team. Yeah. There was a slight moment I noticed where I actually think Team Liquid prepared and enabled him to lurk straight into players that were holding. If we have I think it was round 16 up here. Look at your mini-map. Dreamus is the one that sits and waits over to A, and he's dead. And he's dead. All you have to do is look at the mini-map. Every round they did that to Nats. They said, we know you're going to lurk somewhere. We can slightly isolate where that's going to be. And while all of the racket's happening in the mid side of the map here, it's an opportunity for Team Liquid to just let Dreamhouse pick him off on the other side of the map. There were so many times, it's like they let him walk into his own trap.
Yeah, and like Mech want that breathing room. I think it was a couple rounds later that he's over on B, pushing through, like, past Shed, gets a kill, pulls the whole team over towards him, and then we saw how that round ended with Dreamus sticking the spike, defuse overall. It really sort of felt the Mech were set up to succeed, especially in that first half, but I think if there's a player to really go on, it's Yampy. Slow start, but as soon as he got that attacking up, he won 6 out of the 8 rounds that they played for the rest of the attack. He was immense, and that continued into the second half.
And let's actually compare then Yampy and Chronicle.
Yes,
Two incredible players, and we got numbers to back all of that up. So what are we looking at?
I mean, look at the big numbers. You do quick maths?
Yeah.
70-ish?
It's one of these things overall where I think that like Chronicle performed well, but like it felt that Mech's whole playstyle was a bit scared of the attacking up. They didn't show anything. They played it very slow and tried to stall out mostly.
Yeah. No, I loved it. Look, again, I love Chronicle as a player. I love him on different agents. This one's one of my favorites, of course. But Yampy, you said it. The casters said it. I think the world needs to say it. Please just keep putting him on this agent because my heart flutters and the numbers flutter as well, as you see.
You know, when I try to think of this, I do this.
Yep.
And that spins me round. That was my round, Milosh's round. But what about Ryan's round?
Need to see if we need some vote if I'd have to peepo spin over to or bopo spin. That's it. What I would say is, we saw, like I mentioned with Yampy on the attacking side. So I wanted to show a few examples of the alterations that Liquid made on their attacking side, because typically what they would do is sort of put the Sage wall over on B, plant in this spot, and just hold post plant. But this time, because Mech have been set up to try and be like a lot of post plant utility, Liquid adapt, and this is the first round that Yampy and Liquid are able to get off the board. So if I continue to play it, you can sort of see the stall time on the clock is not great overall when it comes to the plant coming in for Liquid. So it goes through, then we see that opening from Yampy. That first up kill out of plenty. There's the plant that you typically see from Liquid just on pixel angles, but Liquid continuing to sort of push and go for these fights, knowing that Mech are pretty much around the corner, ready to stall out with utility, go take the fights on. But I think the best example is actually this round if we keep it nice and quick, because what we've seen frequently from Liquid is putting a Sage wall here in this position, ignore the arrow, it's supposed to be a line, we'll draw it in its completion even, and then you sort of plant the spike on this little X in this corner. Mech obviously know that, because they actually throw a lot of utility into this position. Dreamcast is already used to Sage Wall, so it goes for a more default plan. But you see all of this utility coming in from Mech. Shock darts, the fragment, you see the poison cloud thrown in. It gets nothing when it comes to the stall of the plant. And so it's one of those cases where Liquid adapt very quickly to going, we can't do this plant anymore because Mech are just spraying it down with guns, for example, breaking the wall, and Mech just thinking that they're going to keep doing the same thing. So Liquid adapted, Mech, however, didn't.
That's a nice little bit of, I guess, leeway for Dreamass, who maybe did a couple of unexpected things he shouldn't have, but always made sure the plant got down. So that is a little bit of buffer for Dreamass there.
Well, now, since we wrapped up Icebox, I think it's time for us to move on to our next map, Fracture. A reminder for everybody, last week when these two teams, I know we said it multiple times, but
yes,
I can't believe this is actually happening. But last time they played, they had the same exact maps, Icebox, Fracture, and Bind. It ended with a 2-0 for Liquid on specifically these two maps. So we move on to Fracture. This time, Mech's pick. They are starting off on the attack. Jess, your thoughts?
You know what? Speaking of Dreamers, guess who top fragged on the side of Team Liquid on this exact map the last time they versed on these exact maps? I mean,
it'd be Dreammaster.
It was on the breach, and the man popped off. He got 16 kills for the team, had a huge amount of impact, 90% over the entirety of the rounds. He had impact. I mean, Yampy behind him on the Sky as well, my good girl Sky. There is an opportunity when Scream and Navira are firing in all cylinders. We saw it on Icebox, and they were one of the bottom fraggers. Oh God, Mech is in trouble. Mech is in so much trouble because all of Team Liquid is on form right now, and the last time they went head to head, they got a, iffy Team Liquid that still won.
Yesterday, we saw a new look for Mech on this map. They brought in Nats on that chamber, so you sort of expect that to stay. It's also something that Liquid recently did. Like, they were playing with Cypher for the most part, but then started to bring in, I think, the Vera on the chamber overall to see what these composites... So it's different since the last time that they played for the most part, but Mech, are they going to change up anything again? You're looking at Chronicle to potentially be that Raze like he was beforehand, but it seems that they're sticking with the composition that they played yesterday despite losing against Guild.
It was a closer matchup against Guild, and that's something that gives me a little bit of hope. I might be saying this is scary, this is bad for Mech, but there is that glimmer of hope, that sort of silver lining in that was a close match with this composition against a strong Guild. So I do think that they were mere rounds away. They have a strength on it. And on the other side of it, you just get an old Team Liquid that they know how to run on this map. They've done it to this team before. But how do they convert into this composition of Mech? That's the unknown asterisk in my mind right now.
Yeah, Chronicle versus Scream, like the raise off is going to be good because both players still sort of adjusted to it overall. Technically brilliant. But on this agent, they're still growing, I think.
Oh, Nats, you were brilliant, but I just feel like it's his time now. He did top frag on map number 1 of Icebox, but he's now on an agent where he can do so much damage. I really feel that he's got an opportunity.
Map 3 then?
I want to say yes.
I think it's going to be closer than it was the last time. Like, Mech is showing a lot more, but like the pistols, bonus rounds, just getting those rounds on the board seems important for Mech because if they start to falter, Liquid grow in confidence and Mech really fall off.
It's who fires first. I really do think that. I think both of these teams are in form right now, but Team Liquid just seem one step ahead.
And that might be a problem for Mech because this is the last shot they have. Should Mech lose this map, it's over for their shots for Masters Copenhagen. But Liquid, they're looking to close it out. All on then to our casters, X-Warrior and Zesht. Enjoy.
Thank you, Milos. Nats did say the other day that this it's kind of a do or die for the team, right? They don't win their match today. They don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what's going to happen to the roster. They've been standing for quite some time, but everything could change. Everything is determined from this game. Everything is determined whether they are able to cross the finishing line here on Fracture.
It would be remarkable to see, them right now bouncing back over that map on Fracture. At the same time, what I would find very interesting, or most likely very important for Liquid, is to show that they're not just here to play in EMEA, right? The last Masters event this year, they pretty much got invited because unfortunately FPX couldn't fly in. But, this is not obviously their own ambition, right? They're not just here to be the replacement team from EMEA. There's much more to them, and they are capable of much more, even though they recently had a quite big change. So I would say, let's witness how that one goes. Can MAC once more prevail with the roster change, or more likely, the compositions change they have presented us when they played against Skilled? Or will it be a Team Liquid actually proving everyone wrong, proving everyone that they are the ones that you should still look out for more and more?
It's a big journey we're embarking on, and both teams look to get there first. It seems that if we're looking at a lower bracket, one may not be floating by the end of it. You can see already Team Liquid taking some very greedy positionings here onto that A site, very fast into taking this space, and they may be greeting a lot of firepower here from Meg. Dreamas, first out of the bat. Scream, looking to trade, but he's in a tough spot. Fault line, aftershock, all added. Fee has to move out into the open, therefore it's Mech now having the numbers, but the rotation from Team Liquid is very quick, and already have responders to the A site.
Yeah, but take a look at that, Pavlos. Look who's coming here to kill you. That's Nats. Finds one, lurks around. And so, the B side is somewhat open. They make their move onto it, but does he realize how close Soulcast is?
Yeah, and that's already highlighted in the analyst's desk, but will end up falling here. He's already found the damage and the information, though, to allow the team to cross forwards towards the site. Redcar even flies a trade towards Soulcast, which means it's Nevera left with all to do. Of course, dark cover in front of him, can't really push out of there. Up against 3, definitely not an easy endeavor. Has to figure out where all of them are hiding. But there's a lot of jiggle peeking going on, a lot of straight peeking. They're not really going to be committing to this. And now that Nevera crosses fourth, fault line will be concussing him. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Although there's a bullet with Shados' name on it. It's going to be Mech with first blood.
And it didn't look like that necessarily when they entered the site. That's something to point out. Yeah, you're going to witness it a lot that Liquid shows interest in taking a bit of A main control together with Breach as well as Raze. I mean, when we talk about a Fracture, it's something that worked quite decently for the side of Liquid from time to time. I mean, sure, there have been those games versus Guilds, and there has been that one versus Zeta a while back. But I like what they're doing right now. I personally, one thing that I really enjoy actually is the information play they have with Yampi. I think he's a very creative piece to rule out space, which a Liquid needs, because they like to not only rule out space by utility, but rule out space personally. And that's a bit of a difference to me, Pavlos, that Liquid have all those tools to gain information, to be a bit more proactive, and Mac in the previous game have been a bit scared.
Does alone here, so really needs a kill to stay alive in this instance, otherwise he may be good, man, okay. Yampi is really struggling with the Marshall, and now Nats has found the opportunity to also come and help. So Mech are on top. I mean, we thought that would be the case, but it kind of felt like Team Liquid had a chance to find a number there.
I would have thought that would have been a good entry for Yampi. I'll say so much. It could have been. And we know that he and Sniper Rifles, very good friends. Like, they shake hands on a regular. So you can surely call the Sniper Rifles by their first name. Either way.
And that one I call Bob.
Very Finnish name.
Yeah.
Could have not been a Heikki. A Mikka. No. Has to be something like that.
Kimmy.
Of course you pick Kimmy.
Valtteri.
Okay, settle down. Settle down.
I'm sorry.
You don't want me to do this, Pavlos. We don't want to go there.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, not bringing up any more car references.
Nah, it's not your job. Either way.
It's going to be a quick one for Mech.
Sure.
I think they're pretty happy about that one, especially not dropping a singular player. That's what you like to see. Flawless Mech. Start things off strong. We alluded to the idea. It has to be a strong start for Mech if they want to stay in this game. And so far, everything has connected.
And the last time around, I really think I have to highlight that. It was Cypher in the form of Nats still playing against Liquid. That game was not too long ago, as mentioned on the desk. But it was very importantly a game where we still saw that Cypher play coming. And the Chamber was a big change. I mean, the pistol was a great lurk by him. We're going to take a look at that throughout the course of this game and how much it will going to play a role. But for now, the Zoe power-up is this round free. Because Mech could run away with it. With 2 Marshals, it's a bit odd to see. Let's put it like that. But they're keen at A main control, have nobody on the north side. And they know, and that's one important thing more, Pavlos, Liquid is not so keen on taking north side control. So it might be exactly anti-straight for Mech.
Yeah, I mean, Scream is the only person now trying to push forwards. The Guiding Light also expended to the left extremity to see if anybody's pushing out aggressively. But Mech are really feeling out the space right now. You can only see paint shells thrown out. Lower ground also taking over here by Nats, but Team Liquid are starting to get curious. Scream a little bit more forwards. Nivera as well looking to go for a bit of a swing, and maybe this is what Mech is waiting for. Maybe they start to fall into their place. Oh, that is Nivera now to get challenged here. Has to rendezvous away from it as he takes damage without giving any back. But the push will also come through here from Arcade. Soulcast falls. That's a freebie. Yampi puts that judge to good use. But as the solo defender of the B side, and Redguard wants to stop the rotation from Spawn, but is unable to do it, which means Mech need to act quickly here. Starting to push forwards. One close to the left side. Won't be reading it. Yampi, Judge, again coming alive. Triple for Yampi. What you love to see. And Shados won't be alive for too long. Or maybe for a little bit longer.
I don't know, is this Valorant or Tony Hawk? It feels like they're absolutely skating for the map, jumping around, doing whatever those skate tricks are called. I have no idea. Just boomerang around, but there you go.
Boomerang around.
Scream got it. And so it goes for the side of Liquid in that round number 3. Ah, I remember that sign. You remember that sign?
I do remember that sign.
Ah, stakes are high.
I've got a feel we're going to be seeing a lot of that sign.
No idea
Because-
who's observing.
No idea. But to be fair, though, this is a match where stakes are pretty damn high. It couldn't get higher than that.
30 seconds left.
Lower bracket with Mech behind and map scores.
Yep.
There you go.
I think it really doesn't apply to Valorant, because you have to talk a lot to have good communication. Either way, aggressive stance up towards the north side. Perfect combination with the Astra Suck. And suddenly, the top part of the map, useless for Mech. Which doesn't change the matter of fact that they basically went through A. So they can take that control of these, Pavlos. They can get that spike down.
Let's play.
And from that point on, it gets interesting, because Liquid have been looking decent in those retakes.
Ooh. I think Team Liquid have only just figured it out. Now that the spike will go down, the call has been made, but they need to be careful of the rotations because they opened up the B site, which means Team Liquid will take a while until they traverse all the way around. SoCast already with 1. It's actually Team Liquid ahead with the numbers. But it is taking a long time for the rotation to come in from the B extremity. And they're all going to wait for everyone to arrive to make sure they're playing the trade game here.
It's a lot of time. I mean, you see right there, there's also a lurk from Nivera coming in, but it's ticking. The time is ticking. He gets one, doesn't get the second. It only remains on Soulcast.
Yeah, Redguard gets both kills there. Won't be able to find another, which means now we're down to Azure. Aftershock, definitely to delay the spike defusal, running out of time, has to touch it. I'm afraid that time is now over. Nothing you can do, Soulcast. You can just get that kill and run away because the round is falling under the control of Mech.
Very clean from Soulcast, though. Sure, he didn't win that round. I mean, that's unfortunate. Mac getting their third, but very calm and very collected. I like to see that a lot. And so, Team Liquid, we see that proactivity on the top side of the map, something they have rarely shown in the previous game against Mac, has been working decently. I mean, they get the room, obviously, and they get the frags and great combination with the Astra ability. But when you totally forget about the A side in that sense, and Mac can just take it, it becomes a problem. And take a look at the minimap again. 3 players towards Dish, 2 towards main. Yampi gets a kill.
Out of everyone that has a weapon on the Team Liquid side, it's Yampi to get a kill.
I mean,
with the
listen,
Marshal.
he's a sniper specialist. He is the Finnish sniper.
He is impressive, to say the least. Okay.
Oh.
Not able to find the shot in the close range there. Of course, you want to keep them as long as possible, but still, Team Liquid have won on every single end here. Even though they've got tower control, Defo will struggle to enter through main. Just so many crossfires to set up. So many positions you have to deal with. Although Spike can be collected, scratch that thought, Shulkers has got the perfect angle for it. So Defo is in an all too familiar position, left stranded by himself, with Team Liquid looking to close out the gap to get a second round. They know where he is now. It's given the call away with that flash. Gets one. Not impossible if Team Liquid keep gifting him kills, but it is Team Liquid we're talking about. They don't make the same mistakes too many times.
No, they don't. And we saw it right there. It was a bit more of an aggression that ends up successful. Yampi loves his B main moves,
30 seconds
combined with
left.
his little birdie. So, Mac got to find a way to it. Pressure our future, preserve our future. I swear, what is going on with the sign? What is going on with the signs today?
I don't know. I kind of feel there's a company that runs Fracture, you know, the whole silo here in
10
Fracture.
seconds
I don't know
left.
what this is. This is supposed to be in an overgrown industrial area. Something went wrong, right? But all these motivating messages, it's got me thinking, how miserable were the
Hear me out.
employees to need all of these messages?
Hear me
How
out.
miserable were their lives?
Pavlos, hear me out.
Okay.
I believe that
Keep up the great work.
we are right now in a, you know there's a big waterfall on both sides. It really goes down.
Yes.
So everything around us is a big Jurassic Park. And this is the scientific station where
So you're saying in the law of Valorant, we will be seeing dinosaurs as well?
we will be seeing dinosaurs.
Oh.
Change my mind. You know what? First of all, because this was enough nonsense for the entirety of Fracture, Mac have to change my mind. 3 men in front of the bench, ruling out early, and you see how much they do with it. They really want to deny. He does not get Redgar!
Oh, Redgar!
This is absolutely reversed. And they enter the side of B with ease.
The acrobatics there were immaculate. The brain play. But now it's down, but to bend off the side. The spray down is good enough for one, but the pistol will still get it done. Look at them, how quickly they've rotated so close to this fight. They're not really relenting.
Oh, this is
Absolutely
good.
no space over to Mech. Team Liquid take control of the B side and say no to Mech.
Wonderful stuff from Redgar to adapt. Ideally done from Scream. So Mech contest. Mech want to have those fights to a certain extent. At least this is what it feels like. Not much more left from the net slurks. Let's put it that way. And Team Liquid? I mean, both parties have not shown too much interest in A, for example, so far. Really, this is a buy versus buy situation, and 4 players are dedicating themselves towards bench. But they don't do anything with it. No combination. We usually see a Neon come into play with such positions. If you would have a Neon, but again, A main has been left fairly open. Nats is coming in with a decent lurk. And could be quite annoying to the side of Liquid.
Oh, Team Liquid have really adapted to this quickly. Dreamers also in a very aggressive position. Only runs away with one, though. That is a trade of the breaches.
Oi,
Still
oi, oi.
keeping close. Shados onto the side, looking to get that spike down. Fragment to keep them a little bit further back. But Team Liquid looking to
Spike
take
planted.
further positionings, and they're going to use Shop to get there. Now moving onwards, they're looking to take space, but look at main. Seems there's a flash drive ready for this push.
Yeah, and that thing is going to change it all once they peek. Chronicle knows about one. The timing's
this
not on
buys-
point.
It buys it for Chronicle. That's the showstopper.
He whiffed.
Now it's a 3-on-3. Onto the site, they're looking to punish, they look to move on, Chronicle through the box, and now Yampi needs to be careful with his backline, fault line, that's going to delay him, Yampi, he's in trouble, and that's when Chronicle chimes in, all down to Sokos, but he realizes he's got no teammates to work with, they know exactly where he is, exactly where he's running to, and this is Mech taking control, seizing the lead, as soon as it seems they lost it.
From a Sub-Rosa ult change to an important double kill he got over there towards A main. That left me speechless for a second, worried, but Mech back in the lead and back in it. With a 4-3 lead. And the attacking sides,
I should probably put
outside of
some
one,
stars in the
that
astral
victory versus Ascent in Champions last year, so we'll leave that out, have never been too good. I mean, decent. Versus Guild, they got 5 rounds. Versus Liquid last time around, they only got 3. So we talk about improvements in the first half, Pavlos. We get that from Mac. But as mentioned on the desk, once the site swap occurred, yep, this is where it suddenly became problematic. at least there in Icebox. Mech was the starting defending there, was doing decent, side swap. I mean, we saw the game just 2 seconds ago, basically. But what is really nice to see is that both controllers lead the charge right now for both teams. It's really nice to watch how calm and composed, for example, Soulcast can be in so many fights, and the dedication of Liquid of taking room. So the only worry I have to finish this monologue is seeing how much A main is going to be contested at this point in time from Liquid.
See if they do adapt. Team Liquid, I like the fact that they paused there. I think they realized there was a bit of a collapse in the communication. I think they couldn't really uncover Mech's positions on the defensive, on the post plant. So let's see. They're able to bring it back now. The game plan, at least for now, from Team Liquid. There's quick rotation towards this A site. Mech tried to sell sort of a fake towards the B site, but no. They're heading towards A.
And here's
completely red. Perfect read. Trailblazer thrown at them, spots out 3 or 4 players, and now they have to opt out of it. Double back on that position, they're heading elsewhere.
They're heading elsewhere. DreamHack still, for example, has his Aftershock to deny if they want to go B immediately. But here, those steps should be heard quiet soon. Liquid does not necessarily adapt to it immediately. They can delay it a little bit longer, but they'll make it on side with ease.
Perfect, now looking to move on. Chronicle does manage to blast pack out of it. Dark cover just in time to give them space to move through, but they do leave Canteen open, and that's where Sulcus and Dreamers are able to fire bullets. Mech down in numbers, Rolling Thunder utilized, keeping them back. They know aggression when it's going to come their way due to the fact that they had no space on site. And now the spike is isolated, which means they need to push forwards. Chronicle looking to aggress a little bit further. That's Yampi onto that end, able to collect it. Nivera, next player congestion, but Chronicle gets it. A vital kill to collect. All down to Dreamers, finds the kill, but now he's wary of the back line. Chronicle, what can you do?
It's all down to him, and he has absolute awareness for DreamHack is.
Has to play it slow. It's all down for Dreamers to uncover Chronicle's position. Now he walks into his crosshair, and Critical gets it done. That is 5 on the board for Mech, and they extend that lead.
That's absolutely well done. They read it well. Chronicle gets that little bit. I guess he got it in TeamSpeak where he's like, there's one on your right, there's one on your right. You're going to see it right here. He finds the first kill, and that, I believe, is on Nivera. And he's going to be like, hold on, now it's on Yampi, he sees it, and there he initially didn't realize there was a barrel, now he does. And hits him in the off guard. That's wonderful. Denies the movements, a little bit eager from Shados, let's put it that way, but, you know, it still worked out. It was a bit of a battle of the wits, who's going to make the first move, and it worked out brilliantly for Chronicle. I think this is one of the most pivotal changes of Mac to put this guy on the duel list. But here again, A main aggression, got A main control. Sheriff's on the side of Team Liquid, and they can work wonderfully with that. But Mech is going to be like, all right, you know what? We're going to back off a little. Let's see what we can get somewhere else on the map.
The crazy thing is, it felt like Team Liquid had their grasp on that previous round. Mech only having 1 smoke to work with, having to keep the Canteen side open. It's one of the downfalls of having an Omen instead of a Brim, but obviously... Oh, I mean, Astra in the case of Team Liquid here, but look at the fast push. Dreamhouse has the perfect weapon for this distance. Oh, it's just a bait from each other. Flash drive away, but Dreamhouse gets it. And they still sustain their presence in tower. Angel's thrown at them. Part at least goes down, and we're looking at a 4v5.
And it's going to be Nats who needs to do a lot of it. Hits the first onto Yampi, he's out of the equation. And Dreamhouse, being such close player, can still do a bit with that weapon.
Shados holds so much gravity with that angle, has to cover from so many positions. Oh,
there
he finds both! Soulcast looking to trade. He's only got a Sheriff, and he has to go down right in the middle of the open. And that is how Mech keep it going. Now 6 on the board for them.
You say it, my man. 6 on the board for them. 6 that look quiet decent. Oh boy. I mean, it is a bit tough to really get that going on the defensive side, I'll give you that. But one thing that definitely is not as present as we know it from Liquid is the X factor in form of Scream. The best player in playoffs so far. Not anything worse than 200 ACS throughout the playoffs. Always performs quite well. But here he goes. The setup towards tunnel, immediately trying to make the push.
Oh dear,
You gotta get out of there.
No. So many birds flying at him, blinding him as a bat. And now Redgar looking to bounce back here, but they're already dwindled in numbers. The other presence they've got is over towards Dish, and Redgar completely isolated. It's going to be the pain shawls of the aftershock to take him down. And that is where the spike lies.
I mean, within the matter of seconds, Nats became an ornithologist, but here they go. They still don't have the spike. I mean, this one is... They can do whatever they want. It's just not possible.
Team Liquid knew exactly where they're going to come from. Scream and Dreamer set up the perfect crossfire positions, and Team Liquid seems like they want a hand on that wheel.
And there you see it. Liquid, from being a bit more respectful in the side of B main, swap it up with one hell of a play. Going into the tunnel, I mean, that is one hell of a ruling out process. And so Mech decide to once more take the north side of the map a little bit more. One trap towards Dish, so they don't push too far in that. And 3 players considering to see what they can do over there on bench. But there is once more a star that can be dangerous combined with that race.
They're looking to push quickly here. Rolling Thunder already used towards the center of the B side, but
There
it
he
seems that
is.
Team Liquid are getting most of the kills. Scream finding so much, but quickly interrupted by Redgar. Nivera with a perfect crossfire setup. And now they've got the spot to be playing around with as well. Nivera again, but it's Yampi to do the work from the back end. The rotation has come through, but it's all down to Nats. Tour de force play. Thinks there's one towards sight. Soulcast's yet to reveal himself, which is what is troubling Nats so much. That's a leg, that's an elbow, that's a gun, but no one is crossing. They know where the spike is. Ooh,
Oh, that's good.
perfect information retrieval, but Team Liquid have got multiple angles to work with. Now Nats has no clue where Soulcast is.
No, not the
Still to
slightest.
show himself. Now he sees him, and now he kills him. What a clutch by Nats.
That's what you want to see from him. Individually stepping up so massively, as chronicled on the previous map, and he himself joined there. In particular, on the attack. You love to see that. You absolutely love to see it from this man. Ice cold, very calm. I'm quite sure Lofar's having a heart attack already by that. Either way, this is exactly what you want to see. It is exactly what you want to witness. And they had a good idea in the beginning, right? They were using the KO ult to deny exactly every kind of shenanigans you would usually witness in that position. But here we go back in it. And so they know there's a bit towards bench. They know that there is at least a Chronicle awaiting them. So they back off. Liquid have decent ults. Especially Dreamers and Scream are very interesting to me. And with not that so complete buy, we'll see what they can do with it. Chronicle wants to take tower control, is in it, and the B side is theirs.
I mean, Team Liquid are giving it to them.
Of course.
No issues. I guess it will mean that Mech will be able to get that spike down safely, but it's all a matter of what positions they can gather now, because Team Liquid are going to move in like a unit all together. Soulcast already opened things up. Rolling Thunder also towards them, keeping them back, but still Showstopper being brought through. Still, it's Mech to find most of these angles. Chronicle won't allow a single fly to get towards that B site. Mech close out the half with a bang. They're ahead by 4.
Switching sides.
I mean, that was clean. That was very clean. And so Mac, swap over to the defense. And I mean, let's put it that way. This is where they play, you know, they still play decently. They still played a slight bit better in my eyes there against Liquid. But we have witnessed that side switch can be one hell of a thing. And from winning the pistol on, I mean, Right's in the desk, winning the pistols, winning those bonuses, it didn't necessarily help Mech the last time around. But maybe they can convert with that, because it would be a 9-4, Pavlos. This is like very close to success, to put it that way.
It's getting them there.
Yep.
It's definitely alluding to the idea of the third map now being put into play. I love how Nivera is just comfortable just hold those angles until someone just peeks out just by the last millisecond. Okay, they chase right after him, so that is costly in his life by the end of it. But they figured out that the B site is fairly open. Now looking to move through, Nebula's assisting them in this cross. This should be fairly simple for Team Liquid, at least for the plant.
It should be very much. And then Spike's going to go down. All 5 players are already ready. Smoking off main will isolate a few players of Liquid, but they go here through tunnels. Mac wants to find more.
Nats is putting a lot of pressure onto the defenders here from Team Liquid. They need to deal with him, but they're unable to do so. Nats is able to find even more! Nats, stop it, man! This shouldn't be legal! Oh my goodness, Nats single-handedly takes down Team Liquid. As if it was a tornado in a stick farm.
Flawless.
Absolutely, I couldn't have said it any better. It's remarkable on what he's doing. His lurk performances on his chamber on the attacking side were already decent. But right here, goodness gracious is he on form. Goodness gracious. It seems like from the conservative approach that we have regularly seen on this map, with the Cypher still being played by them, now to swap it over to this seems to be the exact call Mac needs. And not only based off of a 4K of nets, sure, that reassures it, but seems to help them in the right way. And so we see ruling out is going to be happening a bit towards B main, slight bit towards A main. Nats is taking a risk, but Soulcast is going to die from it. And here's the one ways. Advantage of Omen.
Oh, this guy Nats, man. Put him on the chamber. I want to see more of Nats on that chamber. Crazy good. But yeah, it's a standstill this round. But the thing is that Mech already had the advantage. The pistol round is just securing it even further. And there was a criticism, I guess. Not so much, I guess, second worst pistol round wins, I guess, from the teams in playoffs. So the fact that they're just finding more of these wins is just an improvement, really.
It is.
Yampi's never going to surprise Nats in that position.
No. They look way much more focused in what they're doing and way more proactive in their approach. I mean, particularly on the defending side, I believe the Omen is a bit more beneficial in the sense that you have those one-ways that you can work with. Your enemies are running in your way. And we just saw one on A main. If this is not going to be a long half, we're not going to see how much that is useful, of course. But Liquid's going to dare. What else are they supposed to do?
30 seconds left.
But it should be pretty much a flawless. That's his hungry, I would say.
He's already got his tour de force. Like, what else do you need? This is crazy.
Come on.
Well, 2 rounds in a row, he gets 4 kills. Like, why don't you give him an ace?
Well, yeah.
As if you got something to complain about. 4 kills is great. I mean, like I said, tour de force already available. That just does wonders to the economy. And at the same time, it's a caveat that Team Liquid won't be expecting when you expect your opponent to be on a bonus round.
30 seconds left.
And you know, the last time around they have played on this map, it was a Liquid being fairly slow and fairly reactive about things. So with now realizing, okay, Mac got the tour de force ready, they got probably just mainly Spectres and that Bulldog, it seems like they are very keen to mainly take a bit of B main and see what they can get of an overextending Mac on the north side of the map.
Okay. Maybe to pincer them in here, but it seems they won't be falling for it. Do you run back to the safety of the south side?
There you go.
There you go, as you said it, Nats opens things up.
And that's the smoker dead. Pivotal for an execute on any of the sites, right? You cannot even smoke a dish, you cannot smoke anything. They might get on A, but afterwards there's no further control.
Exactly. It's going to be troubling. They have to get in there quickly.
They
push it. At the same time, they're pushing it. As you said, no smokes. They have to take space. They have to demand it. They know where one is. Know that they're possibly is positioning towards this side, especially with the Aftershock and fault line thrown at Dreamus there, but still need to uncover this little by little. Mech also waiting for all of the pieces to come together. Nats on rotation.
How much time can they buy for him?
Now pushing forwards, Nivera open things up. Quickly traded by Shadows and Chronicle. The trades do come forth, but it seems that Mech have got the upper hand. Dreamus with a wonderful position, but how much more can you sustain it when there's someone on your back line? Nats is coming up behind him. Yampi is able to deal with Chronicle, and all of a sudden this is a topsy-turvy. Shadows with a Spectre. Has to try and find them one by one, but they're just hiding away. No way.
Time.
That's a Vandal. And there is no time.
There is none.
And that's to fall back away from it. Goodness me. And Mech get it done. Well, they get it done with kills-wise, but it's Team Liquid to get it done round-wise.
Dreamus saves the round by awareness. He exactly knows that Nats will come over A main. And as Jess said on the desk with Icebox, very vividly how she was talking about it. He knows, he waits, he kills. Easy as that. Sure, this is only one round, right? And Liquid were most definitely struggling. It's not like it was a very easy one to go for. Nats is now also on the operator, and he's gonna peek B main. And my eyes, Pavlos, are spotting 3 players who might be very keen, but there will be surely a flash coming, right? There can't be an entry for Nats, right?
Well, thankfully there isn't, for Mech at least. For Team Liquid. Why am I messing up these two sides? I mean, there was a fault line just thrown at him, so being aggressive there wouldn't have been in the picture, but
And there's no dish control, just very much highlighting that. He has not been putting his trap over on dish, which means that they have to manually hold that side, deny that side, and have awareness about it. And as the time is ticking, and as they're going to realize, hold on, there's no trap, we are safe, it has to be either Mac holding A main control fully, or now turning around and finding a kill.
well, Mech have also pushed up towards B, right? So they've given information to themselves, but is it all coming in too late? Now all the ore being collected, they're starting to turn around. It's Soulcast left behind here. He's in astral form, but it doesn't matter because Mech aren't really going for him, right? They're not even pushing towards him. Scream looking to push very far in, but doesn't wait for the Seeker to catch into his opponent. Instead, ends up dying. Soulcast, though, finds the right opportunity to take down Chronicle, but Red Guy is next to be challenged out of the smoke, able to find it, and now Soulcast next to contend him, but no, Red Guy still holding on to the position. Nats as well with a double. Mech coming alive. Nats is really feeling it today. Soulcast somehow still alive.
No.
Somehow still taking down the entire
You gotta be kidding. He said
3 HP, 4 lined over, nothing you can do. Goodness, that was close.
I have no more words for such a play. They swing one by one and think, yeah, sure, I mean, this guy is dead, right? We exactly know where he is, but ain't happening. Mac take the round, but that felt a slight bit too close, to be very honest. But it started off good, really. You know, they were absolutely patient in A main. They were absolutely calm. They did not panic once everything came towards them.
It felt like it was a Nats round to begin with, then Soulcast came alive and gave us hope that Team Liquid had another fight in them. And then it was the anticlimactic Aftershock fault line combo to kill him off.
Well,
Oh, goodness me.
let's see if Mac is washing their hands with the sweet juice of victory. At least on this map.
Yeah, it kind of feels we're approaching the end here.
Kinda. Very much does.
Although I do like the timeout there, because to be fair, they were misstepping, or they were stepping in one by one where they had the numbers. Kind of getting a bit shaky there, and I'm kind of thinking that this timeout is to make sure there is no more of that nonsense.
And if this is right now becoming a 13-5, hypothetically, it would be the most convincing Mac Fracture win we have seen throughout the entire year. And I think it would be a statement to finally show, yep, our changes are damn useful.
And also, there was criticism. Why would they pick up the same veto that they ended up losing 2-0 to the other time they played it up against Team Liquid? The reason to that is because they've prepared for it and shown that they have improved.
And they saw something with that lineup they had versus Skilled, right? This is the agent composition they did not play the last time against Liquid. So they saw something with the change on Nats onto Chamber.
Team Liquid, it's a shaky buy, man. Can't feel all too good considering Met can get themselves on 12 already. M3 champions can restore former glory.
But they get very close. They have a lot of A control, but nearly nothing towards B. And the ults, they're not present. Mech have no ult to retake a side right now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble stack for Mech. They'll find out. There's a trademark there. Obviously, they know there's movement into the B main side, but they've gotten in already fairly deep.
They have no information about tower, though. They have awareness, but no information.
Oh, was that even through the smoke there, Yappy?
Yeah, probably.
Defo, shut your hand. Can you find much? Oh,
There you
I
go.
think you can! The turnaround. And that's what you need.
And there's one big flank coming in B main as well. So he just has to play time.
Yeah, he just needs to hold out angle. Chronicle is also charming in. That's all that's needed there as soon as his opponent is flashed. And that is absolutely perfect here. Yampi looking to hold on a little bit longer, but that's all he'll able to do because Mech inevitably find themselves on map point.
You say it. And Chronicle's going to get his ult. That showstopper's going to be available. Defo is one away. Oh, this is looking good for the good old Mac.
Match point.
It's looking like that map can go their way.
I'm actually glad we're seeing that here, Zesh, right? We're looking at a lower bracket run. It'd be so sad to see a team being eliminated like this. Both of them fighting for it for good reason.
And the big lurks we see from Mac really come in fruition. I mean, Liquid might get on site, but afterwards it's looking a bit dire with all those different positionings Mac is constantly coming from. 5-12 is quite a statement. It is their pick, so it has to be like that. At least that's what it feels like.
Well, the good news for Team Liquid is that there's a Cosmic Divide and a Rolling Thunder. But the bad news is that they've already lost Nivera.
Kind of harsh. Taking a bit of dish control, and you see who's the better chamber. Sure, that's a bit of an overstatement, but here they come. Directly try to enter site, and they will get that. Mac is not even caring, and so they'd be like, okay, calm down. The retake is ours, as the spike will go down. They still have a lot of abilities left, and look who's in B main. And look who's not going to be hurt due to the ult.
We've seen retakes really shape form here for Mech. Oh, Chronicle! No way you expected to be pushed up like that, but Dreamus doubles it up. It's a trade at the end of the day, but still we're looking at a 3-on-3, and Solkas has found himself within the midst of that net deal. He needs to check his left side corner, but Defo's there to retrieve, and all of a sudden Mech are the ones with the advantage. Yampi on the upper end side, Aftershock thrown at him so low with his health, but Scream looking to move in here. Scream coming out on top. Team Liquid want to hold on, but Defo says no. It's up to him against Scream, the headshot machine. Jiggle peeks it, has to sustain it.
Perfect.
Angel's thrown at Defo, has to move out into the open, is able to find the kill, but dies to the nade. And Team Liquid would be holding on for just a little longer.
I'm not quite sure if he would have actually got it if he wouldn't have died to the nade, but let's leave that one aside. Mech, there's gonna be a lot of money invested into this round. And I tell you one thing, there's a silver lining for Liquid, right? Winning this round, economically break Mech, get yourself a bit of more coins in your bank account, but most importantly, their momentum will then start to struggle. Because losing this one, you're probably on something like Sheriffs or maybe a Judge here and there. And then it can really work in favor of Liquid. But let's see if we even go that far, because they directly push A.
Alright, well, Redguard
that was an
very
ult.
aggressive here. They're so determined to get this victory straight away, but it might be costly. Still trading equally. Defra from the other end. Oh, it could have been the end right there. But Nivera shuts it down. That was very aggressive by Mech.
What in God's name just happened? That was I mean, sure, they push for a main and try to directly deny that because Liquid is very keen on that, and they also do the same on B main, right? DreamS is ready for a Chronicle doing so. There's a race ult being not even shot, and then they trade on trade, and
Standing.
a final shot by Defa whiffed. Oh goodness, Pavlos.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
This gives room for Team Liquid to develop as well, because Mech now have got lesser weapons. They've got Sheriffs, and you know, these gamble stacks will start to become a theme. I'd love to see a couple of Bucky kills, not gonna lie.
But it's not gonna happen, is it? I don't really believe it.
But he switches up the position
Hold
in
on.
time, and he actually runs away with
Never
it.
mind.
Oh, paranoia, delaying.
He's holding it really
Position.
good.
He just holds it, and now Mech are also coming in. Team Liquid realize their push has now been stopped. Oh, and he's going into the smoke.
Stop
in
it.
for more. Redguard, stop it!
This is so intelligent by him. Soulcat's gonna grab an upgrade and says, I'm out of here.
Oh,
No way
please
they keep on fighting that.
No
way he
way.
gets a third, right? This is impossible to do.
We said no way to the first one after all the
Oh,
utility
yeah.
thrown at him, but there is the world. Oh, fault line, he's going in for more.
Stop it.
Oh, 10 HP. Nate's thrown at them as well. Sheriff's joining in. Not this way. Team Liquid could be humiliated on the final round of this game. And there's also, look at the backline. Nat is slowly approaching from behind, and he's got his tour de
30 seconds
force.
left.
It's starting to hurt. They're running out of time. They've got no space. Flash there. The swing comes out. Solcast looking to salvage the position for them. 20 seconds, looking to move on site. The only thing they can do is push forwards. No time for rotation. Jumping on top, and that's now approaching from the back end. They have to deal against
That's
Defo
done.
and Chronicle.
10.
They're so low.
Seconds left.
8 seconds. Flash drive. Defo finds it.
Oh.
Scream gets 2. 5
No, the
seconds.
spike, look at the spike.
All Nats needs to do is just hide. And that is one hell of a way to close out the
I've no
map for
words.
Mech.
Raiders win.
This series is going the long haul. It's going to a decider.
It felt like Mech have said to themselves, you know what? We are going to take control over A main. And we're going to do it the entire time. We're going to deny it every single time once that round number 12 has been hitting for them. It was wonderful to watch them succeed, really. It has been looking like they found the right adaptations to their play. It really felt like Nats was feeling so comfortable in Chamber from an entry perspective as well as from a lurking perspective. This is the perfect introduction to map number 3.
I mean, last time these two teams played up against each other, they didn't get to see Bind. But
No.
now we will. We'll be there right after a very short break.
Welcome back, friends, and you won't believe it, but we talked about the fact that this matchup here between Mech and Liquid is a mirror of what happened in Week 5, only a week ago to the dot. Turns out, even the score on Map 2 will be the same, but in reverse for this time, as Mech tie up the series, take it 1-1, and guarantee a bind. And before we get to that, let's break things down on Fracture. Hungry for it, Jess, aren't we?
Oh my goodness. Just look at the left-hand side. We can, if you want, look at the right-hand side of the screen, but I mean, that's a sad day for you, especially if you're a Team Liquid fan. So instead, we get to marvel at what has been a brilliant Chamber introduction into this stage. It's come a bit late, but you know what? Better late than never in my books. And that performance is what you dream of having on your team.
The question was never whether Nats can do it. It's
Correct.
just, is that sort of magic from him lost where he's able to like lurk around, find space, and the fact he was able to do that as well as get 3 4Ks in 4 rounds sort of between this first and second half says it all. Chronicle moving over to the race performed well. Defo on that KO looks strong. This is the Mech that you want to see in playoffs, and really they didn't miss a beat. I don't even think Liquid
No.
played badly. It's just that they were completely outpaced by the Mech team overall.
I like that you said that they look good and this is all fitting, because I actually think this is the puzzle. Like, if I was to stand back and look at who should play what agent, who should fulfill what role, Chronicle now moving forward on the race, Defo making that step back to maybe a little bit more of a supportive, Shados in the back lines there. If I had to pick an agent and a role for each one of these Mech players, especially after seeing against Guild and now against the side here of Team Liquid, that's it. That's my dream Mech lineup, and the fact we got to sit there and I get to eat my words and say, why would you pick Fracture? That's ridiculous. I mean, well, that's why, because they've got it prepped up and that comp works with those exact players.
Last time that we saw these two teams play last week, it was a bit of a spaghetti fest. It was just lots of really awkward things happening, but that was some fundamentally strong Valorant. Like, we've not really seen that many like whiffs when it comes to some of the plays and how they're performing. Sure, quieter performances overall, but the way that they're playing out these maps is really solid, and I can't wait to see that move over to Bind.
When
They
you did
deserved
that match summary and it brought up and you could see clearly one player on that left-hand side, that was Nat. So how about we talk about him for just a moment here. Here he is,
the
man,
14th
for the
time.
14th
Yeah,
time, because the
please.
man is Mr. Consistent in everything he's got.
I mean, just to give you an example, he went up against Yampi like 8 times. He won 6 of the game engagements. You know, he went up against Dreamass. He doubled the kills. He went up against Scream. He had 3 times against Scream. The only player that was able to kill him more was Soulcast. And I think that came down into the dying moments of the round where things were made in sort of clutch situations and whatnot. Navira doubled the amount of kills that Navira had against him. Everyone who faced this man, and you can see it right now, struggled outside of Soulcast in the late latter ends of a round. That's scary, because if you're a player on the other side, you probably start questioning yourself. Well, we can't go B long anymore because that's where he is. Well, we can't go here because we heard, you know, the tour de force. I mean, suddenly you don't do things you were going to do in the round because you're too scared to enact those strategies.
Yeah, and 5 first kills as well, so the openings were there for Nats. And like Yampi, for example, was 10-1, I think, on first kills on Icebox, but because he moves over to the Sky, that's kind of the risk when you change it up, right? You sort of almost take the form that a player's in, move it over to a different agent. I think Yampi still performed well on the Sky, but
Yep.
Nats was just a level above today.
Well, then how about we smooth out the end of this this map here and
Go on.
make it nice and round on the
Yeah.
other, round it out, as they say, with Ryan's rounds.
Yeah, so one player that we haven't actually highlighted so far is the Chad IGL of Mech, Redgar. Like, we saw a little bit of like the Astra versus Omen, some ideas on both sides. Soulcast had some insane rounds mechanically. I had like the almost 1v5. Anyway, I think I wanted to talk about the fluidity of the attack inside of Mech and how Redgar really enables that. So there's actually one thing I want to show off first. We all know this. We didn't get a replay, so I'll do it now. This whole outplay of Scream coming in with the ultimate, he gets hit by the paranoia. The teleport comes in from Redgar to get up on the high ground and just nails it with a headshot. Like I said, Chad energy right there to do that up against Scream. But this is more of the big picture stuff that I've really enjoyed from watching Mech over on this map. You can see from the top of the map, there's a crunch coming in from all of the defenders of Liquid. Common strategy, a lot of anti-strats to try and shut it down. But Redgar over towards the B tree part of the map is actually going to teleport and use the fact that Liquid has taken a lot of space on the top side to pull in with the teleport from the Shadow's ultimate to actually get in and execute over to A whilst the rest of the team moves in. We could speed it up because you get the general idea and some other nice utility comes in. I think a round later he gets another few couple of kills and a nice little set play, but speeding it up, it's a 3 versus 4. Soulcast is up on the high ground. This smoke comes in, which is a little bit odd. I thought it was a mistake initially, but look at the fact that if we slow this down, it does get pre-aimed by Shados, this angle that Scream is playing from, and obviously they know that he's there. Misses the shot, Scream backs off, but this is the play if we start speeding it up again, going to normal speed. This, waiting for people to drop for the paranoia to come in and get these kills. And it's all set up for Redgar, by Redgar as well. So it's a player that we've not really highlighted mechanically. Calling's been a bit iffy from Mech overall, but I would say that he's performing well, everybody on Mech's performing well, and the fact that you have an IGL making those fluid calls versus a team that doesn't really have a traditional IGL could be a difference.
Redgar Omen. Just keep doing it, friend. I love you, bro. That's
Another
so good.
question is, are we going to get it for map 3?
Yes.
This decides it all between these two, between Liquid and Mech. If you lose this map, you are out of the running for Masters Copenhagen. Simple as Bind is our decider, mimicking again what happened last week. And Mech start off on the attack. Jess, your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I'm going to do a history grab here. I think that's, pretty good, especially when you're talking about M3 champions who've had a fantastic fracture. But if you go back in the recency of what they've played Bind in this stage specifically, there's a glimmer of hope because of what they did with Ascend.
Yeah.
If the Ascend game didn't exist, I'd be like, oh, no, they can't do it. Their bind's not good enough. They haven't shown us enough in this stage. It's been pretty shaky. They've cleaned it up a little bit. I actually have extra hope because they've done so well on Fracture. They cleaned that up in a week. Imagine what they can do now after they've already beaten Ascend on it. So yes, the hopium, the copium actually just becomes, yeah, I solidly think they can do this now.
I think for Liquid, though, because they've only played it once with DreamHack in this roster, they lost it to Na'Vi. There was some great plays from Yampi being able to be on the Omen to teleport to find openings in space, but there were a lot of first deaths alongside that as well. So there is elements of this Liquid, like we've not seen them play much. There might be a bit of a change up on what agents they're playing, going up against the Mech that seems to have sort of cracked the code for them that seems to work out.
Now the question is, how does our team compositions look like for map 3? Bind again, Mech on the attack. Once they come up, Jess.
I'm sorry to disappoint everyone, but I don't think we'll get Nats back on the chamber, even though, God, I wish he would just main it on every map. We've seen some great camps from him on the Ascend game on this particular map. I think it's part of a lot of their strategy on the defensive side. So if he strays away from it, it's a big change. It's a big change in a short period of time. And as a result, we get him on the Viper.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They've actually gone back a little bit to what they usually play. Like Shados on the Sage as well. I think he was over on the Sova beforehand. And Chronicle's still on that race beforehand. Defo performed immensely.
Oh, he played so good.
So it is like Mech just adjusted something that makes a lot more sense up against what Liquid are playing, who are playing the exact same composition as they did before. The Fade is going to be interesting. I think she really rocks on this map, but Soulcast, I want to see him bringing out and Scream, Navira again, those key agents of Raze and Chamber. Now's the time to have an absolute battle on this map.
Yep, you underperformed. The brother buff was not activated on Fracture almost at all. They can come into this, reset themselves and go at it again. I think it's map comfort for those boys because they've actually done that before. So I think they're uncomfortable on Fracture and how they move. On this map, Redgar back on the Omen. I said he'd be there. It's great. The way he plays Lambs like an absolute lightning king has just been awesome. I don't know where this goes. Again, you said Mecha starting on the attack, yes?
Correct.
I think it's decided in the first half. Would you agree with me?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I think it's like, see what like Yampy can do, especially as
Sure.
one of the highest average damage per round. But like I said, there's so much risk. And so if he can sort of make that performance a bit tighter, I think Liquid have a good shot here.
Guys, thank you very much. This is all setting up for Bind, our final map in this series. That's it. That is it. If Liquid win, they are through to actually fight for the last spot for Masters Copenhagen. And if not, it's Mech that will progress. We'll see who gets into it. It's Bind Map 3 onto our casters. Enjoy.
It could not get any more cutthroat than this. It really could not. We're looking at the final map where each team has a map apiece. And basically, whoever wins this can qualify onwards. The one who loses is no longer in contention of making it to Masters.
You say it. You absolutely say it, my dear Pavlos. And you know what? It's going to be quite exciting to see what this slight little change they have made is bringing to the side of Mech, right? As mentioned, Shade Oz is deciding, you know what? We're going to put you on Sage. And it's obviously a change that is happening from time to time. Some teams make it very useful. Some don't see a big purpose in that agent in particular. She's not having the highest pick rate on Bide anymore. But at the same time, it can be a perfect adaptation against Liquid. Let's see if that is the case. Who's getting eliminated? And who's staying here to get a ticket for Copenhagen?
Who is going to move onwards? Who's going to be able to fight for it at least? Mech start things off on the attack as they look to push through. Dat cover, really not giving them any issues. Through the poison cloud as well. Very aggressive maneuvers, but not really going for the commit to the plant just yet. Soulcast with a couple of plant shots onto the site. They do manage to cross on over. Look at Redgar. TP on top of Heaven. That could catch players off guard. Look at the push. They're even looking to push even further. Yampy looking to attack it right on, but Team Liquid have got the backup to come forward for it as well.
No
Defo
way.
collecting the pieces. Redgar also coming in from the heavens and making it work out perfectly. Soulcast has assistance over in market, but how much more can he find? He finds 2 shots, but there's 3 more players to go, and they need to find it quickly because there really isn't much time.
There isn't much time at all. Soulcast and Scream. There's still a nade on Scream that could really make it work, but look where they're hiding, Pavlos. It's near impossible to make that work.
Oh, and they peek out just in the nick of time. Together with the guiding light, they peek through and get it done. Mech with yet another pistol win up against Team Liquid, get themselves a dub.
And the cool thing about this pistol is that it looked like the absolute most default pistol plant that we could imagine. But what they have done is taken the Sage wall, vaulted themselves up over the tank, and place it back for the Defender spawn. So they have went one piece deeper. This is why we also saw Redgar go that much into Heaven to play it in that direction. And those players at BAF be like, yeah, we got this. We have a good opportunity to hit them off guard, but they're not even planting it. As easy as that. Gotta love to see it. Gotta really love to see that. And, well, that bind looks interesting and decent so far to me. It has been only 1 round, but it's been promising. And if there's such pressure on right here, it can be very exciting.
It's a good start. Team Liquid not too bad either, getting that first pick. Of course, that was towards the left extremity, but I think they kind of read on what Mech kind of going for, looking for the B crunch. Let's move in from long, all of them together. A little bit more delayed from Nats as he has been lurking quite a lot. Wall off. That elbow side, 2 on site. Scream able to find some damage. Nivera, the one with a kill, but it's Chronicle with a beautiful transfer. That's the 3-piece that they needed. Could have gone wrong if Team Liquid were alive for too long, but Soulcast's position completely telegraphed. Shot down, it's Nats to do it, and it's Mech on 2.
Chronicle and Nats are... I mean, they are so individually strong at this game. I mean, this is such a plain statement, but at the same time, when you see sometimes what those guys do, it's magnificent. I love to see it. Either way, we're heading to the first buy on the side of Liquid. Mac is still going for the bonus. Everyone is positioning up in front of A, and it seems like this is a very fast A short go, because there's a breach waiting in lamps. That's a big advantage, particularly considering that there's a nade available. But how fast will they go, and will they be held up in time?
I've seen there is an adequate response in regards to the utility. Fault line nades as well, thrown at them. Chronicle doesn't care. He's flash, Scream,
no.
oh dear. You know him for his one taps, but maybe not for your spray, at least in that instant. Although it's still somehow being traded out, the wall giving them some security to get that plant down. But Solcast, he's being challenged left and right, not letting it happen. Redgar will have to be sticked into that position, but look at the move in.
And Solcast has his old Pavlos. That is a bit dangerous for the retake.
Yampy from the back end. Who can you find? Beautiful haunts. No way you can figure how you are playing this one out. Yampy with the first one, Paranoia to the side. Still looking to get control over the site, putting pressure on them by touching it. And now looking to move forward. Defo looking to put pressure. Yeah. Solcast and Nivera find both kills and will be able to get the defuse on as well. That is Team Liquid finding their way on the board.
And Yampy is once more going for the lurks. And not only that, the double kill from Solcast made it also possible to get his ult online and put them all onto mute. All being identified. The Seekers say thank you very much. We're going to track that one down. And that's helping them a lot to get that retake going. Because remember, that started off in a way where you saw that the breach stunned and the nade didn't do much. They held them up for a second or two, did a minimum of damage and a minimum of stunning, but not much really that held up Mac. And so they changed it up, got the first rifles on the board. We see a Spectre as well as a Bulldog available for them, as the money wasn't enough on some of them. Pardon, that's the side of Liquid. Absolutely misread that, but either way, seemed to be much more keen for the B side go and force them away from B long.
Yeah, Yampy had to expend this TP to get out of there. Redgar close by, looking at challenge, making sure he's covered completely, getting to that left side. But the pressure is mounting here for Mech, starting to move in.
That's
Scream!
Nice.
Who just takes a TP and gets a kill like that? Who does that? Well, Scream does. And now Chronicle next to play this out. Bust back to get him out into the open. Uncomfortable position for him. Team Liquid looking to staple themselves on top here, equalize that scoreline. But at least Redgar's going to make this a little bit more comfortable. We'll try and pick up the spike. He actually gets it.
Yep.
Nobody cancels it, and now can move on to that A site.
It's going to be the chamber trap. That's going to make it very clear. I'm here, by the way. And so it is a Redgar clutch to come in. 45 seconds left on the clock, and that puts the spike down. Now it is initiated. Does he get them isolated? Not at all. And you know what's so wonderful about this is even though how good Mech was in getting that control in B long with all the utility thrown down, how annoying Solcast is remarkable. And that in a good way, right? Comes for Teleporter, assisted with his mate Scream, and gets his C's on the player who's waiting in hookah, which was Chronicle if I'm not totally wrong. So he's being distracted, so he's under pressure, and then he's basically trapped in that position. Got another kill. But wonderful stuff. I'm really excited of what I'm seeing here, Pavlos. This looks like it could become tighter than Icebox, most definitely closer than Fracture for sure, if it goes on like this.
Well, it's definitely Team Liquid able to find their way back, put some tempo into this. While it's Mech trailing, they're the ones that have to do the catch-up work at this point. You know, fault line, getting them out into the open. Tour de Force now used here for Team Liquid. It's sort of red here for Mech, but still, they look to take up a position they've taken multiple times before. The B side is what they're going for, but they're finding a lot of response. Crossover comes in, and Redgar actually finds a kill. That's a stinger.
100% kill rate on the Stinger, I believe. Either way, no chance really for Redgar to survive as they once more go for the Teleporter. And Defo and Shadow's got one hell of a task up ahead of him.
Scream is really loving that Teleporter, isn't he?
He does, together with Solcast, from time to time with Solcast at least. Let's see if they find the kill, though. Is Solcast hitting that, Scream hitting that shot or not? Yep, he does. Easy one. 4K.
They know him for that one, for those one-taps. They weren't really one-taps, but they were kills to the head, you know. That guy's known for his kills.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he known as a headshot machine, possibly?
Oh, did you know that?
Really?
Yeah,
I just guessed.
Oh, wow. Good guess. Sorry.
Weird. How did I know
Coincidence.
That? I mean, couldn't have figured, Pavlos.
No.
Couldn't have figured. Either way, as we get into the third round for Team Liquid, both parties most definitely going to have a full buy going on. And as we witness right here, it is going to be, first of all, a bit of BAF control. One way is coming in from Yampy. That's obviously a very nice piece of denial, as you sort of have to respect it. With the dog, though, showing that you don't need to respect it, they can go a little deeper. And here it goes. Nats is going too far. Same could go for Redgar. And does he survive, though, is the question.
He does. Gets away. Not bad. Okay. They'll take that. But still, it's Team Liquid on top, right? Even though they had to push towards the B long side, they still find their way back onto the site. M3 champions not really gaining any space from it.
And what was really nice to watch is that Niveras have an absolute awareness on what usually Nats likes to do with his Viper in the sense of his lurks. Absolutely punish it instantly. And so Liquid, 3 players waiting on the B side, and 3 players with a lot of stopping power.
Yeah, they've given them a lot of respect as well. You see Chronicle trying to use that showstopper, but denied. There's also a showstopper from Team Liquid. Space guaranteed here for the B site. Oh, but Scream manages to pull the trigger on the showstopper, but doesn't find anybody. Looking to move across.
20
Red in a
seconds.
very difficult position to deal with. If you don't have a read on it, it can be very difficult to deal with. Spike goes down, no issues there. Seekers to gain that info. Team Liquid oh so close to this fight. Redgar start things off. That's the first kill going their way. Now equalizing. Onto the side they go. Dreamus delivering. Rolling Thunder available. Scream has to fall. Dreamus with a very aggressive Rolling Thunder. Has to move into it, but Shadows has got the right-hand
dodged
side
it.
corner. And Nivera looking to push up even further. Catches Nivera! Oh, you absolute beauty!
You gotta do something.
Oh,
He
but
cannot
Scream
do
is
anything.
defusing, It's halfway. There's no time. Redgar gets there on time, and that is a defuse commencing there from Team Liquid. And it's Team Liquid to liquefy this round.
They've done it quite well, I gotta admit. I mean, there were so many little pieces that I loved about this round. Both were so pressured by each other's ult off the race. And both were taking so much time, but in the end, they wanted to push elbow, right? You see it here. They want to progressively take room because they cannot remain on site and stand there like they're from Madame Tussauds. So, as they're just waiting and holding, that was a nice idea, but Nivera individually just stepping up in that. He was taking the charge, he was taking the risk, and made it work. And so, Team Liquid, contest belong, don't contest bathroom too much, but they definitely want to make Mac feel uncomfortable. No passiveness allowed.
There's a little bit of a setup piece here for them. Redgar might be falling into a trap. That's a Brawler. Ah! No way! All
right.
Okay. A little bit uncomfortable.
How you doing,
Calm
guys?
yourself a bit. I thought he would have... The reason I screamed there is because I actually thought he managed to pull it off and find his
no
way
way.
onto the smoke, but yeah. Okay, didn't happen.
It was a bit of a moment before disaster picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, well, well.
It's the picture you give
Yeah.
after when someone starts the whole
Yeah? Yeah, Pavlos?
video of...
Yeah?
You're probably wondering how I got it.
Yeah, I'm probably wondering how you got there. It's actually kind of true. Yeah, well, 5-2 for Team Liquid. Let's stay there, shall we? For the
Yeah, let's
moment.
keep it there. Team Liquid, though. Strong start,
Yep.
but this is Mech's chance for redemption.
It very much is. It very much is. And you know what? Mac was looking significantly better on the attacking side against an Ascent. Don't really prove that at the moment. You cannot really witness that strength can be transferred. But let's see. Maybe it's going to be one of those runs that we see right now from the moment they have now once more weapons in their hands. As they take the BAF control, probably it's going to be the same B-long approach as well. And this is what we see, right? They have to stay passive. A different Viper wall, though, as we witness. And let's see if that allows them to lurk or not.
That's a very aggressive one, isn't it? It seems Team Liquid are replying with some of aggression themselves, kind of taking some shower control, but the short push is what they're going for. Redgar using from the shadows for just mere information onto the top end, knowing Dreamus is holding that heaven side. But the access is granted. They want to take control of a lamps. Team Liquid, that's where they want to fight for. That's what they want to contest, but it's simply a trade. Defo unable to guarantee it as 2 players were hiding out there. Viper Spit dropping, looking to guarantee it. Yampy, as soon as he moves out of his own teleport, ends up dying. Down to a 3-on-4. Team Liquid in trouble. Paint shell thrown right at them. And now they can either choose to fall back into the fire of Redgar or move into the toxins of the Viper's Pit. And it's all down to Nivera realizing all too late that all of his teammates are gone.
I tell you one thing. The thing that made it work for Mac is finally daring once more to take an aggressive stance in front of A. You know that those A, I mean, there's literally, it's so hard to defend A short in this game. It is so tough to do that. You might even have a seize from Soulcast, you have a stun from Dreamus, you have a grenade from Scream, all of those things, right? But it doesn't make it easier to defend A short, and this is what they basically abused. Wall it up, get the plant down, get the Viper wall, board the Viper ult as well. Ta-da. 5-3. And let's see if Liquid is adapting in the sense of being like, yeah, we gotta fortify it a bit more, which you actually do quite decently with the agents they have over there, or not. Because for the moment, the minimap tells us one thing. It seems a bit more A-heavy. It's a different A wall as well again. Not the one that's going lems, not the one that's slicing the side itself diagonally. So to try to swap it up again. And what they can gain with that and how patient they will be with that, that's a different question. Because, again, you see the same thing from Liquid taking belong control. Now the BAF control is from Liquid as well, something they've tried time and time again. But here's one thing that has changed. Scream has his ult.
It's time to move in. At least they kind of allude to the idea that they would. Second time to charm on this pull.
And they have seen the Boombot. They've seen the Boombot instantly moving away because they don't want to run in that Scream ult when they're running short, because otherwise that could be a multi-kill coming in by the rocket launcher.
Yeah, and Nivera's still holding that all dangerous angle. All too dangerous angle, rather. Trademark will definitely spot out Mech's movement into Hookah here. This is no news to Team Liquid. It's been silenced over to the A site. You've got to figure they push through. Ooh, Chronicle doesn't check the cubby corner, which means Yabi's still alive. TP to switch up that position and goes to the right-hand side. Defo anticipating it and ending up with the kill. Scream looking to use that showstopper. Very unlikely with those ultimates he has been this series so far. And now we're looking at a 3-on-4. With a spike now going down for Mech, they've got the advantage. Aftershock to delay it. Defo might die here. Oh, gets away from it. Barely alive. Shados replenished. But we're still looking at a Mech looking to compose their positions. Team Liquid looking to gather control towards elbow.
And there's nothing like snake bites or so that would make that diffuse a little bit tougher, right? They can enter the site and go to the spike and directly hold E if they'll make it that far.
And that wall has massively delayed them as well. Yes, they've opened it up now, but they're running out of time.
Yeah, it's done. I mean, look where Dream is. This is over.
They've made the call. Nats might be able to find an exit frag there. No, not quite. But everybody will be running away from this one. 7 alive at the end of this round. But it is going to be Mech to close up the gap and grab that 4th.
Yeah, and I mean, he received advantage of something that a Sage can do, right? Cypher's out of it, Sage's in. Retake complicated. Many things. So Team Liquid take a timeout. Finally, you have to say. And so, it is one of those games where I feel like, you know, Liquid has a lot of comfort and great retakes from time to time on the A side. We've witnessed that. And now it is Mech realizing that, for example, Hookah is hardly contested by Team Liquid, so they can try to take that. Didn't do that so much. But working together as all 5 and getting on site like that is something that can work so well if there's not one of those miracle performances, right? You remember that elbow 3K from Nivera? That obviously is something that shouldn't happen, but that happened. So I'm really curious to see if Mech, with the timeout from Team Liquid, going to be like, you know what? Let's rush A short again. But take a look at the dots on the minimap. There are deep A main dots. Maybe I'm crazy, but this could be an indicator that Liquid dares and tries to make a move deep down A short and punish a lurking Nats, for example.
Yeah, those movements are a little bit rare, aren't they? You don't often see just teams attempting to push towards short. Very risky position to take. Walking into a crossfire, right? You really don't want to enter that realm. At least they focus towards it for now. Prowler seeking out. Trailblazer as well.
And there you see it. They at least wanted to deny them deep down A short because they felt like that's going to be the case. This is something they've been quite successful with in the past.
I mean, Mech read it as well, right? Sort of setting back, not falling victims to that pressure.
So to just wait it out. And by the positioning, right? You see Scream standing up there on ATC. He's going to be the first contact on things. Is he going to find the kill, though? No, absolutely perfectly smoked here by Redgar.
Very nice that cover.
And one is going to be spotted. That's not too nice, but Scream's out of it. Wall is here, and let's go for the plan. Only lamps they have to take control of.
Yeah, Fault Line definitely looking to delay them, but they're
Or like
using
this.
the TP a little bit delayed, though, a little bit lingered. Now, Nivera,
Oh, no.
the sole defender, actually, no. He's got the reinforcements of Yampi, gets one and gets the hell out of Dodge. Now needs to have a different position to work with. Chronicle onto the site, struggling to find the kills. 25 seconds approaching. Spike now being planted. We're looking at a 5 versus 4 with Team Liquid with control. Look at Yampi. This could be multiple kills flowing his way.
No.
But no, it's Chronicle to double up. And now it's Mech to equalize. Showstopper towards Scream. He's got to run for his life and gets the hell out of there. But now they're looking to stabilize, and Nats has got a very strong position.
And the question is, with the economy, they will try it. They will dare. They're on side already, but there's not really much to make it work at this point.
Very fine margins. They have to nestle out with
Grenade.
these kills. They had no clue Nats was in that position, and that is all important for Mech. Equalization delivered. 5-5. M3 champions back at it.
I mean, the afterplan looked so good, right? That was... I mean, Yampi nearly with a chance, but getting punished for it. And Nivera whiffing, getting punished for that. They really react right to the mistakes of their opponent in that sense. It's a millisecond decision, don't get me wrong, but exactly what you're looking for. And so, at that point in time, they forced him off, they forced him away, forced him to particularly come only from B main. And so there it goes. Liquid still have decent money. The next round would be looking a bit problematic, but we're coming to the end of the half anyway, so it doesn't really particularly matter anymore. And they have stopped taking risks. For example, Boff, a room they have taken time and time again. Not one player there this time.
Freely handed over. Nivera oversteps.
Yeah.
Shredka opening things up. Sokar spotted, but still holds his position and takes down any opposing player. And that's Nats down, right? No Viper, well, no Viper Wall. At least they've got Redgar to work with. They do have a controller in play. But the pressure is starting to mount, knowing that this map is all important. Dropping it means relegation. Maybe not relegation, but no longer the chance to contest for Masters, to contest for the title of VCT EMEA.
You say it. The golden ticket to Copenhagen. Up for grabs for one of the two, but there they make it out. Nate backside, perfectly executed. Dreamus is trying to hold them up, but Chronicle Airlines has already entered sight.
Oh, Dreamus, beautiful cubby corner, but still traded out. Mech have got it perfectly. Spike gone down, that wall will delay them by so much. And it seems like it's only down to Soulcast to find an advantage here. Oh dear, that delays them even further.
They know it
And
all.
they know exactly where Soulcast is.
Yeah, they know it all. They're Scream, just one with one grenade having the opportunity to make anything work, and 10 more seconds till he has the haunt. So it's not like it's in favor of him.
No, they need a pick. Otherwise, this is all over.
Yeah.
Paint Shell desperately finding
Oh.
some chip damage. Oh, he knows where Defo is.
Yep.
But he needs some reinforcements. He needs help. I know exactly where he's coming from as well.
That's
That's a
good.
headshot for bullets. The wraparound is commencing. Scream on the spike. Oh,
They have
but
no
careful.
idea.
Shados, they've got to
Oh!
go. Simple spray down. Double kill here for Shados, putting them on 6.
It's individual
Round
performance
in the
saves
half.
them, but that was smartly played. And nobody expected the Shadows to wrap around here, and so it is a number 6 for Mac. And you know what? We have talked about their Pavlos. Talked about not so strong attacking sides from Mac, right? You remember. Overall, not what they usually rely on. But I think they have, particularly with the performance of Fracture and what we're seeing right now in Bind, shown us that they can do this quite decently.
Remaining.
With the right adaptions and the right calls. And so we're left with Mac potentially getting a 7th. Liquid once more buying as much as they can. A good old fake.
Yeah, those fake TPs always getting me going, man. You know, nobody tries them anymore because everybody knows of them.
But that's the mind game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do I actually do it? Or don't I?
Did I actually do it, or did I?
Funny thing is that for one of the few times we see Dreamus deep down in Hook, which makes sense with the weapon he has, right? Absolutely logical. At the same time, it puts it only down to 2 players on the A side itself. In the meantime, Yampi wants to get the orb, gets a little bit damaged for that. They know, though, nothing is A short.
Little do they know, Team Liquid have a perfect read here. Guiding light, providing information, but they don't look away. Nivera perfectly done. No way you expect Dreamers there with a judge. No way you expect Dreamers there with a judge during an executioner. Shados, all that remains, but he's probably just scratching his head, wondering where the hell did my teammates go? At least he finds a kill.
Now look at a spot. You gotta be insanely fast right now.
Rez, he needs a pick. He
No
really
way.
needs a pick.
No. He's not making that work, does he? Look at the time. It's done. With that move, it should be done. It should be done. No way. No. I do not believe what I'm seeing. I do not believe.
12 seconds, and the both of them are nearby. So if they get the kills,
he
this is
got
possible.
it. He
got
teleported.
Player standing.
But it means it's only down to 1 and 2 Redcar with all to do.
No
Flash
way.
over. What can you do here, Redcar?
There's no universe where he makes that work.
No, and he doesn't.
Oh my god, that was looking
Made
good.
us clutch our buttocks for just a split second. But not. Equalized at halftime, 6-6.
Yeah, I mean, if this is not a certified squeaky bum time, then I don't know. Absolutely is. 6-6, and
Player
I mean, with mech, everything's possible to the last damn second. And solid stuff here by Liquid to save it in the end. Taking a bit of a different approach towards hookah, and really the bait and switch that worked so well. Nivera's out of hookah. There's nobody else there, right? Right? And well, obviously that happened.
In the words of my co-caster, this can now be declared an absolute certified banger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good thing you're learning from me. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
Hey, no worries. Anyway, enough being said. Did you see the head of Nivera? Did you see the haircut?
I don't think he did. Although you can see there's only 2 players defending here on the safe site as they do switch positions. Okay, that's
Never mind.
It's a bit ugly. But Redcar gets it done. And you can see a wraparound here for Mech as well, slowly rotating over, looking to have adequate amount of players to defend, but Nats may be in trouble, won't be able to find a closer, but Redcar still keeping things on an equal level.
There you go.
Chronicle has also chimed in. Mech, they're winning so many pistols this series, it's unreal.
Yeah, and it didn't help him on Icebox. Just putting that one out, right? It did not help them on Icebox at all. So I'm very much looking forward to how this goes in the long run. I'm pretty much choking like big at this point, Jesus.
Yeah, bear in mind, for everybody not watching, I've got Zesh's camera, I know what's going on, but that pause wasn't for suspense. He literally just pressed it mute and you could see his whole head shake. He sneezed.
It's summertime, isn't it? Who doesn't remember a classic gamer moment called hay fever? Anyway, on a map like Bind, there's not too much floral staffage that I can witness. So, getting back in our game, right? This is where it matters. This is where we gotta stay for the moment. Team Liquid. When we talk about Bind and recent performances, their attacking sides have been looking very decent. Versus Big, it looked quite good. Versus Navi, it was quite alright as well. And this goes on and on. This is an entire theme. So, this was all a long time ago, though. The Big and the Navi one, long time ago. So, there's not much really samples to work with. But as they contact up A, this is where I'm worried, Pavlos.
I'm not worried.
Are you not?
Doesn't seem to be a reason to be worried right now. Chronicle got it all under control. Nivera as he walks into the DP and walks out of it.
Okay.
Nats dies. That gets me slightly worried. Shados is also very low and has to heal up. Redcar, though, with a good angle to scream. That will be stopping them. And slowly but surely, Team Liquid starts to run out of players to work with. Spike will be going down at least, but the Soulcast is there.
I'm not worried.
Angels leaving Dreamers with no position to fall back to. That is going to be Mech following it up.
No, I'm not worried anymore as well. I was for a second, but not really worried anymore. Well, oh well.
It's good to hear you're not worried, Zach.
Hey, you know, I don't see a reason to be worried anymore. What I liked a lot when we take a look at the previous games we had from Mac on this map, This stage, they have done a good bit with the combination of Fade as well as Raze. Obviously, that's swapped away. This is something I liked because they had decent combos on Fade and Raze, and now it's only one Raze, but they have shown very passive behaviors so far on the defensive side. So no big room taking outside of Bath. They have a very nice set piece for that. So I'm very much curious to see how much they're going to respect Team Liquid in that sense. As we see a mech timeout, it raised the question what is going to be talked about here. I think one of the things that Redguard one point said is they like to take those early timeouts to the fact to once more reconsider and rethink what is their opponent actually doing in their buy rounds. And possibly also a bit of paranoia on Liquid being like, you know what? They're taking a timeout on us. Do we have to swap something right now or not? But Liquid never seemed to be faced by pressure, to be frank.
Doesn't seem to be their main problem of concern, is it? So many experienced players in the roster. Long-standing professional scene for quite some time, and multiple games as well. Doesn't faze them at all.
Nah, not really. And it's going to be interesting to see what they'll do with their B-long control, as they very much like their deep brim smokes in the past. The little edge there from Redgar. It seems like there is a bit of awareness. I mean, there's obviously awareness on the side of Liquid. You see it with the little ping, and Yampi is just waiting for exactly that. But with the Prowler going guarding Pavlos,
Scout destroyed.
both trade information, and Liquid make no move. They keep the control they have. They all relax.
Ooh. That's an interesting pick by Redgar. Now Team Liquid are called to action. How do they respond? Looks like it's going to be a B hit, but with 3 defenders, going to be the difficult site to take from the 2. There's a double back in the movement. But it's rerouting of efforts, really. The plan's still the same. But of course, giving them a way out from that TP if needed. B-site looking to move into it.
Where are you?
And they play it very
UCs
passive.
as well.
Shadow still has a slow, so this is once we're costing them time, right? Redgar has a smoke as well. That's going to be placed long as well. So there's a lot holding them up, but Shadows cannot find the kill.
And they know where Defo is. He's not going to be catching anyone off guard, but who can is Chronicle, and he's already found a kill, causing pressure onto the left side. Dreamus and Nivera are bouncing back with their own kills. Mech looking for damage, and
That's
they were
good.
able to defuse, stop the planter.
down.
Paranoia thrown at them. 14 seconds. No way Mech get the win here. Switching the position, they've heard it. They can expect this corner, but they do
No
not.
way.
Redgar with another. Nivera needs the
So
kills. Unable to get them. Redgar gets 4 this round and disrupts the entirety of Team Liquid.
I love a good old Redgar flank, don't you? I love a good old Redgar flank. This was, by the way, a bonus being played. And he started off with a wonderful entry, holding A short all on his own to then move and wrap around so deep. And so Liquid, they gotta put this thing in drive. If not in sports. And see where they will end up. If the explosiveness of Liquid is an opportunity or not, we're gonna find that one out. But so the one way is holding them up a little bit. No B-long control really taken. Hookah is the only visible weakness at the moment. That would be something they could take, but
Find you. No charges.
Liquid is just so patient in their place. Particularly considering the weapons they have, Lo-Fi, Pavlos.
Lothar?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
Hey.
He's a handsome man.
He is a very handsome man.
Don't think I share his voice, though. I think we've got very distinctly different voices and accents.
Oh, I could have not figured it all. Not the slightest.
All good. All
Very
good.
similar names as well. Very exotic, in the words of Xilf.
Very exotic. Okay, I was starting to question there.
No, go on. Just please stick to the game, Pavlos.
Stick to the game.
Yeah, do us a favor.
Stick to what you know. All right, Soulcrest. Gone for a little bit of a journey there, but called short. This should be a clean round by Mech, not looking to get challenged. Team
30
Liquid's
seconds
is
left.
chance to come back was the previous round, right? They haven't gotten a single victory on the attack so far. So, inflicting damage to the economy of Mech is what they'd be looking to do. A little bit dreadful there. Scream dicing with own nades.
Oh no, man.
It's getting from
It's ugly.
ugly to hideous.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Mac is going to get punished for the very defensive stance that we're seeing there, right? You always have a guy in Lambs, right? You always have Omen and Lambs. You always have the Viper standing in front of Bav and not taking deep control. The B-side players all very deep down, right? There's nobody deep in hookah. There's nobody contesting a fight over on B long in the middle of the round. So it's going to be interesting to see if Team Liquid at one point going to be like, we're just overrunning them all together from start on, or something else.
One enemy remaining.
Did he nade the same position he satchel?
Yeah.
No. Stick to the game. That's what he said. Stick to the game. This is where we remain.
Oh, very deep wall there from Mech, really denying that Shower's control, but the distinct movement coming out from Team Liquid is this hookah place.
Exactly, and it's a very early hookah play, right? Very early trying to deny, very early trying to trigger a rotation. Usually free players start on B. This time they got the Sage over there as well, but based off of that, there is a good bit of information gain. Hold on, what happened there with Nivera? Why is he not hitting his shots?
Oh, I'm not sure, man, but at least Sokas has got his back and able to trade it out there. I think, thankfully, for Chronicle, his showstoppers are actually connecting, unlike Scream today. To the B site they go, Scream out into the open, I call his name and he ends up dying. Chronicle just stepping up to the plate and Cubby rolling Thunder enabled, but they've got adequate and number.
He's alive!
Able to get out of there, Pain Shield's thrown out to delay the push as well. Dreamers, that's fine the kill, but how more can you find? Chronicle gets another red card, steps up to the plate again. Mech look unstoppable, lose the first map, but they're on the way of closing out the series in a reverse sweep.
Oh, how dire it was at the start. How damn dire it was at the start of this series, Pavlos. And that said it himself. He asked the question, I'm not even certain what we're going to do if we're not going to make it. Because Mech has constantly... When we talked about their performance after Champions, we're like, yep, they're hella dangerous for certain. In Stage 1, let's be honest, Pavlos, there was not much to really witness. Sure, they were playing decent, but not as good as we know. Stage 2 didn't start better in any sense. Initial loss versus Guild, repeated at the playoffs. But there's a lot to prove for this team. And I think they're taking the right steps at this point. Can I just let you know one thing, though? Can you take a look at the scoreboard of Mech for me and tell me that this is not a fever dream I'm having?
This is crazy.
What is this?
This is crazy. Red card 23-13.
Dude.
Chronicle 21-12.
They have...
And the rest of them are fairly low, far behind.
44 kills.
Amongst two players.
44 kills, and the other three combined have 19. And I think there's not really a point where you can really mess with them, because Nats is doing his part with the laying space. Same goes for Shada, same goes for Defo. He's really enabling his teammates. You see he has 11 assists for a very good reason. But that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Team Liquid once again without funds.
Let's play.
Trying to figure out what other Mediterranean economy it looks like right now.
Italian?
But honestly, yeah. Not doing too grand, are they?
No, Mr. Draghi can't save them all.
Team Liquid really need to be careful in this one, because we're looking at, again, Mech getting to that 12th. It's getting really tough, man.
Yep.
Considering Liquid looks so strong on Icebox, it seemed like the same thing would repeat itself again from the previous time they met each other in the regular season, but no. Mech show us why. They stuck to their guns, stuck to the same veto.
I think Nats had an interview of Yinsu as well, where he was like, it just was not our day. And this is a very esports cliche sentence, but it very seemed to be true. So let's see how that one will pan out, because it's 35 seconds Pavlos, and it seems like their GPS is telling us, let's end up on B.
30 seconds left.
That seems to be their target destination, but Nats might be there to end their lives a little bit quicker than that.
Nasty.
Sends them to hell, the direct opposite position that they would have liked to be right there. And Nats once more. Quadra, make one of those kills be through a snake bite, why not? Defo cleans it up at the end, and we're looking at an all too dangerous Mech. One that wants to carry on in this lower bracket run. 12 rounds for them, one away from qualifying onwards, and keeping Team Liquid out of contention.
And it's again a good defense side. Oh, good old Mech. You're doing things sometimes that it's really a massive roller coaster ride. It starts very slow and you're like, did I really pay for this? And then at the end of the day, you're like, yep, that was hella fun. Very, very interesting Viper wall we see right here, by the way, there on B long. It probably is going to be complemented by the ult, I would have said, but no, they just want to slice it up on B long and take the control very early on. But that does all not matter, because look where they are, in front of the gates of A, and it seems like Liquid want to go for it.
Ooh, Redgar very often very aggressive positions towards the short side, but now is called to drop back a little bit paranoia to the end. Look at the flash coming through from Dreamers as well as the shots. Nevera looking to open things up. Team Liquid determined to take over the site. It looks like they may be able to do so. The response from Mech should have been great, right? They had so many defenders towards this A site, but it doesn't seem to matter. Dreamers into that snake bite, and Shados and Nats look to bounce back from this. They lost 2 players early, but this is not over.
No, it very much isn't, but I think his ult is not getting deep enough to get that spike.
It isn't. Which means they can also hide to the left side corner.
Oh,
Snakebite
no.
will get them out into the open.
There's the
But
wall.
the wall is there, looking to interrupt there. Nats is sticking the defuse. Yampi able to shut it down, but there's no longer the Viper's pit to play around with. Shados out into the open once again, looking to put that guard into good use. Depth for all that remains, a 1-on-2. Time dwindling to the left side. He gets it,
He
and
halts
now
it.
it's all down to Nivera. Will he stick it? Down to halfway. Defo! A monster just comes down from the underworld and takes down Team Liquid. A start play to take down a star team. It's Mech to prevail.
I tell you one thing, he has been doubted time and time again. Always questioned if he is the right fit, and then he has such an impact round. Might not be very much on top of that scoreboard, but at the end of the day, he saves it. And this means Liquid is eliminated. LCQ is waiting for them, but Copenhagen isn't.
It's crazy. Oh man, so many players popped off. I guess there are arguments to be made for all of them, but guys, you can vote right now on who is the player of the match. You can either choose from Nats, Redgar, or Chronicle. Goodness me, all of them had show-off moments. I couldn't choose right now. I'm just starstruck by how that game just ended.
It's near impossible. Do you pick Nats after the first 2 maps he played, and then you have that third one? Do you pick Chronicle? It is near impossible. I think it was a wonderful team effort, and I don't know who we have for the interview, but I hope I see Redgar smiling.
I hope to see all of them smiling, because it looks like it was a redemption arc, and it seems to be carrying on for them because they've got more games in the lower bracket to play out. But I'm going to let the analyst desk take this one away, but they'll be seeing you right after a break.
Welcome back, friends. It is all done and settled for our first match for today. Our victors are in, and it's Mech. Team Liquid cannot make it through. And to talk about things in detail, we got one interviewee from Mech. It's Nats joining us. Nats, congratulations. How are you feeling?
What's happening with my camera? Hello, everything is fine. Thank you.
Everything is fine, but it seems like in the server, the whole team was popping off. First up, let's talk about Icebox, where Team Liquid was able to shut you down. What do you think happened there?
To be honest, I don't even know what just happened. I was thinking that we was playing pretty good on that map. Maybe, actually, it's very good map for them. Maybe they just win some important rounds, some happens. You know, that's all. Actually, I can leave the interview. They're gonna do the content.
We'll keep going through it. Don't worry. I have the only adult in the room, as always. But we move on to Fracture, and you ended up popping off the whole time. So how was that for you to constantly destroy and shut down Liquid?
Even on Chamber?
Yeah.
Actually, we just prepared. Yesterday, we played Fracture. We just understand what kind of problems we had when we played. Today, we just say to each other that we have full confidence on that map, and we'll do everything what we can to show the best level of play today. And luckily for us, we played good, and bind was pretty good as well for us. I guess the next question going to be about the bind.
Are you going to play more Chamber in the future then?
Maybe. Actually, I played not bad, I think.
Not bad is an understatement, but fair enough if you deem it so, Nats. And at the end, it was Redgar that also came in on bind and kind of helped the whole team put things together. You guys are feeling really good in this game. What do you think about next opponent? Do you think you can kind of predict which one you'll go against?
That's gonna be Ascent and FPX, right? I'm pretty
Correct.
sure that it's gonna be a hard game for Ascent because FPX is preparing for the opens all the time. They're changing picks, but who knows what's gonna happen in lower bracket because plus FPX was playing yesterday. Ascent had a day off, so I think that's gonna be 3 maps, and I'm still thinking that everything gonna depends on important parts of the game like clutches and the rest of things. So I'm not sure that it's gonna be 2-0. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 3 maps.
All right, very excited then to see if your prediction comes to life, though. Nats, congratulations on your victory. I'll be seeing more of you and the squad next week in week 2 of playoffs. Until then, take care and good luck.
Thank you.
And there it is. The man, I don't think I didn't do too badly.
What a ridiculous, humble statement to make after the absolute massacre that
He's
occurred.
not dropping 30 kills, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, my bad. It's not the usual, like, Nats lurk 30. He's like, yeah, I think maybe I did good.
I mean, that's just typical Nats attitude, I think, overall. So, like, the fact that he's used to this, just being in, like, lower bracket runs. He's like, yeah, this is what we do. We're fine, I'll just get 30 kills.
We're just going to play a bazillion games at one go. Don't worry about it. This is just
They're used to
us.
it now, yeah.
We're used to it. This is the kind of comfort team that we get to have. But Nats wasn't really the only one that was popping off on the team. We had Redgar in map 3 that went absolutely ham, didn't
He went nuclear. I think when you even like look at the facts, and we're going to compare him to Yampi in a second, it's making all of those plays and finding all of those openings, whilst also doing some of the best calling we've seen from him in a while. The resets, the way that they're taking space. A lot of the attacking side, like Liquid's defense initially was really, really strong and compact. I think they were 5-2 up, but then Mech started to deathball a little bit, play a lot tighter, fight for spaces like elbow. I mean, we saw like that in round 2 for all things. So you're thinking like Mech are going to be able to do some crazy stuff, but Liquid looked good on the defense, and then Mech started doing this, pushing areas, taking these fights. This is what they're known for, and they did it tremendously well today.
Fundamentals were on point. I mean, there was so much criticism over this weekend thus far for them and how they perform on their attacking sides. Well, yes, they managed to snag the first round, the second, and everything goes awry from there. And I said, yep, typical Mech attacking side for them. You know, that's what happens. Get to round 8, and they go, we've worked it out. And yes, of course, I spoke about paint shells for Scream earlier on in the week. I don't know if I'm going to add that one to the tally. We'll see how I feel about that one. But the biggest thing I've got to highlight here for Mech, there was a 3-mapper series here, Ryan. Guess what? They won every single pistol in this entire series. From start to finish. They converted, and guess what? Before the playoffs had even begun, Mech had a 45% conversion rate on their pistols. It was pretty bad. They would win less than half of their pistols. They come into this and they go, pistol 1, pistol 2, pistol 3, and just kept going and kept snowballing it. And that really helped their attacking halves, where they were otherwise having huge loss conditions.
They came in with specific ideas as well, right? Just the way that they play. Like in round 1, you have Redgar teleporting towards like sort of heaven, right? Over on the A site. So it's lots of like fluid motion from Mech taking space, and Liquid, a young squad, couldn't really adapt. And sort of this comparison, I don't want to really kick Yampi whilst he's down, but Yampi was also that kind of player when he played up against Na'Vi, finding space and openings, lurking, teleporting into backlines, being able to catch people by surprise. He found nothing because the defense from Redgar and the rest of Mech was so fundamentally strong, Liquid weren't able to pick one attacking round up.
I feel like Yampi, he thrives in sort of a little bit of chaos and sneakiness, and he was in a lot of those smokes a lot of the time. Unfortunately, that was read like a book, and every time he wanted to make those plays, it was just shut down round after round.
And would you believe our player of the match? Who is it? Is it going to be a big smile? Is it going to be a big lurker? Well, you're going to tell in just a second. It's Redgar, the man. On the 3-day interview, he said, I'm all the way down here. Nats is lurking up, Chronicles up. Turns out he can also perform when it's needed.
Yeah, I think it was just a little wave and kiss on camera that did it for people. I was expecting Nats just because it was that kind of like world-class performance that can get Mech to international events, but Redgar was phenomenal today.
I just have to keep seeing him, especially on Bind on Omen. I think it's phenomenal. I think he does well on that agent.
Well then, what does the bracket look like? Just to update it for everybody watching at home. Team Liquid unfortunately knocked out of the running for Masters Copenhagen. Mech taking them down 2-1 Mech moving on, still having a shot. Reminder, one more position remaining from EMEA with Guild and Fnatic already qualified. FPX versus Ascend is coming up in just a bit, and that will also decide who'll be joining and playing against Mech in just a bit. So how about we get to it? But just before that, we're talking about all these big players in EMEA. One of them is Mixwell, so let's see what he had to say about his entire life and how a usual day is for him.